Good Wednesday evening to everyone. It is good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. And the person who is doing the seeing and the being seen is, of course, me, your friendly neighborhood, the Dungeon Delver. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. And if you're new here, and chances are you might be, because my gosh, did you guys have your Wheaties? This channel, we are up to 4,856 subscribers as of showtime this evening. And guys, I am beyond flattered. I am beyond honored. You really know how to help suppress a guy's imposter syndrome. You do, and I love you for it. Thank you all so very, very much for subscribing. And if you haven't already, if the winds of YouTube have blown you to these tranquil shores, if the currents and tides have carried you to these verdant banks of internet traffic, please do consider clicking the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications, and you too can find out when it is we do this. But just to let you know what it is we do and when we do it, just a little heads up. 5 nights a week, we live stream classic role-playing games. We have guests. All my guests are guests of honor. We've had some of the greats from TSR. We've had new game developers who are great in their way. It's a pretty fun thing we do. And of course, there's interstitial videos as news blows up, because yes, there actually is tabletop gaming news for the old school corner out there. Things still happen. Don't close the coffin, Led Ethel. We ain't dead yet. So I'll report on that stuff, and you'll get all the information. And if you like what we do, please click that thumbs up button, give us a like, and leave a comment down below, as many of you have done. If you don't like what we do, give it a thumbs down and leave a comment down below and tell us what you don't like. And by God, if it really bothers you, well, I'll do my best to look into it for you. But one of the things, of course, we can't forget is that this live stream is brought to you by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of adventures they'd like to play, whether it's for first edition Advanced Dungeons, whether it's for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, whether it's for the OSR, whether it's for Castles and Crusades. Old school is in play at the table with Hellebarde Games. There's Kyle over there. And you can find them on DriveThruRPG or on their website, hellebardegames.com, and you can check them out. Well, as you just saw, storming the studio, not waiting. He's dropped his shoulder, he's raised his shield, and he's forcing his way in any minute now is my co-host from Down Under, Kyle Schuant. And tonight, I get to put my feet up and kick back and relax a little bit while Kyle runs an RPG session for us. Now, we're going to do a little bit of character generation also. I don't know exactly what he's got in mind tonight. He's driving. I'm passengering. But I do know what we are going to be doing is we're going to be playing Conflict, which is penned by him. And this is the adventure game of Modern Warfare. You can get this on DriveThru. There is a print-on-demand version you can get. It fits right in your cargo pant pocket, I should point out. So this is what we're going to be playing tonight. We've got a stable of characters. How stable they are remains to be seen. That we're going to be running through some charge in and scenario type stuff with. So I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it, and we're gonna be jumping in. LHRPG doesn't like that you can't watch every day. Aha! I have already fixed it, because these live streams, just like the interstitial videos, stay up on YouTube. I do not take them down. You can watch them any old time. I even have it so that the comments remain, so you can pretend like you're in the live chat. But anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Now, there's a few newsy things that went on today, but I think I'm going to leave that till tomorrow before I get into it. I may even do a short interstitial video because there's some funny non-RPG stuff, yet it's kind of a circus mirror reflection of something that went on in January and February and then into March, but I'll talk about it tomorrow. But anyway, I hope you guys are all ready to have a good time tonight. I know that I am, and it's good that I'm not going to be doing most of the talking tonight. I had a very rich dinner, and it's sort of, it's kind of doing that thing that, like, I may be heartburn, I may be indigestion. I'm not going to let you off the hook, fat boy. So, and there is something I'd like to address real quick, something that's going on in the chat. I try to make it a point not to criticize things out of hand if I haven't seen them, if I'm unfamiliar with them, if I don't know what's going on. So it's like I was pretty hard on 3rd edition and 3.5. I played a lot of it. All right. I've played 5e. I read a lot of 4e, didn't play it, but read enough of it to know I didn't like it. So you guys talking about Dragonlance and whether or not I know from where my criticism comes and you don't see it or you don't see me talking about it, allow myself to introduce myself. Yes, this came in a lot of game books. So I do, I carry the chain I was forced to forge in life. Ebenezer, I do actually have a Dragonlance book that sits on the shelf in exile away from all of the other Dungeons and Dragons books. So with that said, I'm going to put on these absolutely mellifluous headphones here and roll my chair back so I'm not parked on the cord and do not inadvertently cost myself a very expensive pair of headphones. So let's do this, and let us welcome my good friend and my co-host, Mr. Kyle, the Viking Hat GM Schuant. Hello. Kyle, hello. How are you?
I'm good. Someone called LHRPG Official wants to plug their game.
LHRPG, can I plug the new episode of our Game Diary series that drops this weekend? LHRPG, hit me up on socials. If you have my email is scrolling down below. You can find me on Twitter at @A_Dungeon Delver. Of course, we have a kind of a chaotic Discord, and get me that info. Unfortunately, I can't give you the ability to put URLs and things like that in the chat. It's a YouTube thing. It's not a MeTube thing. But yeah, just reach out to me and we can give it a shout out. Or, if you want to hack up the URL so the chat scroll won't freak out and not display it, of course, we can try something like that.
We're big believers in cross promotion. It's like CrossFit, except useful.
But yes, we are huge believers in cross promotion. And, I wear the hat of dungeon delving where, I get my old man pants on and I say, if you're not playing AD&D, you're not playing it right. But largely, I think if you're having fun and you're having a good time, then you are, for the most part, doing it right. And this is why I sit 12,000 miles away from Kyle, so he can't come and get me for making such a heretical remark. So yeah, it's if it fits in that great, wide, broad, and deep box labeled good role-playing games, it fits around here. So please get me some kind of link, and I will be more than happy to cross-promote it, as long as it's in good taste. That's all I ask. Or you pay me lots of money. Oh, crap, that was a hot mic. Anyway, but speaking of things, absolutely. Kyle will tell us now what we are going to get into tonight, right?
Yeah. This thing, conflict. This little thing that I wrote a little while back. It's a simple 2d6 system to have adventure games in modern warfare and warlike settings, such as police, special action groups, and spy stuff, and all the rest. In the Discord, Bill was joking around that Sapphire thought it was going to be like MASH, and he was thinking it was going to be like Sicario. It's up to as always. When I'm GMing anyway, it's up to the players how to be. That's why I didn't like Dragonlance. I don't like Railroads. I don't like this is the way you must play. I mean, I tell you how you should play, but in the end, it's your game table. You do what you like, and with any particular group of players, the game master should roll with it. And if they happen to roll in a direction that the game master really can't bear, well, they can all go and find different game groups. But yeah, you should roll with it. I personally would be a bit pained if it were MASH rather than... But also, Sicario goes a wee bit too dark, even for me. I'm all on board with shooting drug lords, but murdering their entire family, including the children, that's a little bit too much for me. But
I'm going to need super chats from everyone because that was that was well under the 30-minute mark, Kyle. Just got demonetized.
Well, I mean, we're just discussing what happened in a movie. It's certainly not advocating it, quite the contrary. So I don't think that'll get us demonetized.
Right on. I gotta do this. So players in the green room, I'm gonna put up a link, and if you are not on mobile, this is the on-screen die roller that we've got. That's very cool. Let me, if audience or anybody's not familiar with it, we have that lovely jewel right there. All I ask is don't use it until game time. Like that. That is what I wanted to specifically not do.
I haven't used this before.
Oh my God. Okay, let's just switch that off for a minute.
I'm glad it's got the sound effects too.
Yes. Anyway, so
GM Jacko says the YouTube-friendly term is unalived, which weirdly feels way darker to me. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Self-deleted, unalive. Yeah, unalived. Okay, well, Kyle, take it away. I'm gonna stop being a host for 5 minutes, and you go ahead and send that. And I'm still LHRPG. I'm waiting for that link, buddy. I'm keeping an eye on things, so when you get it, I'll stick it up there.
Okay, so this is Conflict, the adventure game Modern Warfare. As I said, the idea is to be able to play through tactical situations. The idea originally came about when I read an article, or two articles by a guy called Charles Franklin on it was like a Christian Gamers magazine or something. I'm not Christian at all, and the Christianity wasn't at all a part of it in an article. There was no overlap in the Venn diagrams there, but anyway. And apparently Charles Franklin is a pseudonym for the writer, because when I ended up writing Conflict, I wanted to credit the guy. I mean, in blog articles, I've credited and linked to the article and so on, but I wanted to credit the guy as part of the inspiration. And the website owner said, okay, I'll forward him the message. He likes to remain anonymous. And I never heard back. So obviously he likes to keep himself to himself, or herself to herself, which is fair enough. But anyway, the two articles were Hitting Them Where It Hurts, where they looked at actual stats of actual conflicts, of actual wars, and what sort of injuries popped up, how likely you were to be messed up, And humans are a bit like a glass bottle that you're either fine, slightly scratched, or you're completely shattered. It's not really the thing that we do in role-playing games with hit points and that. It makes for a more satisfying game in most cases, but it's kind of not the way it really happens. And though the random dice rolls can kind of balance that out, because if you've got 1 to 10 hit points and someone does 3d6 damage, well, you get that similar kind of glass bottle effect. So there was that. I wanted to put that in, realistic wounding effects, and my first thought was just to tack it onto another game. In his original article, the guy suggests how you could do that with GURPS. And the second article, he called Keeping Their Heads Down, because in the middle of a firefight, people tend not to get up and run and charge at the enemy. Once the adrenaline kicks in, people tend to freeze up, or they repeat their previous action, even though the guy's already down and they keep pounding on him, that sort of thing. They kind of lose their cogency because the adrenaline kicks in and you get tunnel vision and all the rest. For those who are fortunate and haven't experienced a violent conflict or a situation in their life, you might have experienced if it was a first aid situation or a fire or something like that. You get the experience of like your elevated heart rate, your heart's pounding in your chest, you get tunnel vision, your limbs are kind of numb. It feels like you're reacting really slowly, and afterwards you get trembles and nausea and so on. If you want to experience what that's like without the horrible conflict, just go for a hard run, and when you feel that you can't go on anymore, stop for 20 seconds and then go hard again. And repeat that 4 or 5 times, and you'll start to get a similar situation, just the adrenaline's pounding and so on. So once you've experienced that, you start to understand why most shots fired in combat miss, why the police can be shooting at a suspect who's less than 6 meters away and still usually miss, and also why a person can be horribly injured and yet fight on. Or somebody else can be barely injured at all and just go, and give up. Now, what Franklin suggested was to have them make a roll, a sort of like a cool, I think it was cool in Cyberpunk 2020, was it? Called a cool stat or something like that?
Yeah. There's a few RPGs that have a cool stat, but it is very high up in Cyberpunk's rule system. It's not just one of those, well, you might use this or you might not. And also there's a coolness under fire stat in Twilight 2000 that functions much the same. Yeah.
So now what he suggested was they roll, and if they fail, they either freeze or they repeat their previous action and that sort of thing. I thought it would be a bit tedious to be rolling to do anything in every combat round. And also to a degree, I think that your skill in combat, your skill with rifles or sword or whatever, should in some way reflect not merely an ability to hit a target at 200 meters or the like, but you've done room clearing drills and all that sort of stuff. You're accustomed to that adrenaline. You know how to control it and channel it so that you act usefully. However, some people are better trained than others. So I got a stat called, I put in a stat called readiness, which like all the stats in the game are rated 0, 1, 2, or 3. And readiness 0 is your typical person who is, the ambulance comes and they just stand there doing nothing until someone tells them what to do, or they stand there filming through the window while you're treating a casualty, that sort of thing. Readiness 1 is like your typical cop or conscript soldier or something like that, who has a little bit of training, all the way up to readiness 3, which is like the top special forces in the world ever, and action movies. And that's how many actions you get in a combat round. And this can be depressed by 1 if you just got wounded, and it can be depressed by 1 if you're under automatic fire and stuff. So, but it can also be elevated if somebody does a leadership role. Come on, lads, let's go. There's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So those were my two core ideas in writing up the rules, and then the rest is just stats and skills and stuff like that build on it. There's the same as 100 other RPGs you've done before this. You were going to say so?
No, I was just going to mention, this is a point of interest, and Kyle and I have discussed this in the context of conflict and just in general chat. If you want to actually watch someone's face as they go through all of the phases that Kyle was just talking about, and I'm not talking about an actor, I'm not talking about something made up for TV. I'm not talking about an acting coach. It happened a couple of years ago, and it was all caught on in-car dash cam, the cash in transit heist in South Africa. Kyle knows the one I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And the driver who did an absolutely, I'll let Kyle explain, because I have never been there nor done that, exactly what he did and how he managed himself.
I haven't ridden an armored car and dealt with hijackers who were happy to unalive everyone.
Right, but you can see this man's face as he goes through those phases of adrenaline shock, of managing the situation, of managing the crisis. And it's spooky and spookily compelling to watch the entire thing. I'm going to spoil a little bit for you. He and his co-driver, 100% A-okay, not injured. They got away from the bad guys. So it does have a happy ending, but, what Kyle's talking about with adrenaline rushes and coolness under fire and that sort of thing, you can really see it play out in real time from about 2 feet away, because the dash cam is on the inside windshield facing the driver and his co-driver as they deal with a rolling hijack situation. So,
yeah. Now, Vaughn, I see your questions. We're going to get to that in a second. I'm just going to add my little copy of the rules here. So it starts off with acknowledgements of some people who helped me in writing the game. So I consulted with actual paramedics and doctors and people with much more military experience than myself, and so they're on the credits. This should be on the latest copy. It's under the text is now under a Creative Commons attribution license, so you can basically do with it what you will, as long as you give attribution of me as the original author. You may do so in any reasonable manner, not in any way that suggests that we endorse what you're doing. If you do something horrendous with the game, the Al Qaeda supplement where you get to play Al Qaeda or something, if you do that, we don't endorse that. But it's a Creative Commons attribution license, so you're free to do it. Yes, you're correct, Wave. My eldest is a paramedic. All right, so there's that. So I believe freely. Go ahead, do what you do. Do what you want. Now, okay, so okay. The 6 campaign types. There's training, police and crime work, counterinsurgency, conventional conflicts, anarchy, and zombie movies and stuff. Terrorism. Okay. Training is not strictly speaking a campaign type, but it is included to note that sensible players will want to take their adventurers through training so they can practice working together and get a feel for the combat system. After they have died a few times, they will become more cautious and thoughtful. Planned missions are often rehearsed too, for example, hostage rescue teams practicing raids on the same type of aircraft they're about to deal with. So the system itself is not inherently grimdark or horribly killing or whatever. It depends on how you play, okay? If you just charge in, guns blazing, without scouting the place out and so on, then yeah, you're probably going to die. If you plan things, if you scout things out, if you work together as a team, the classic infantry thing is the pepper potting, fire and movement. The Americans call it bounding overwatch. One group stops, fires, while the other group moves forward. They drop, they start firing, the other group moves forward. They move towards the enemy until they close with them, and then they're in close and can deal with the enemy. While they're firing, that makes the enemy keep their head down so they can't fire back. And you can do that even if you're not actually firing at them, but it's like, cover me. And so they're ready to fire if the enemy pops their head up, and they go forward like that. That's the most basic teamwork that two people can do, moving together, and that applies for going into rooms against a hostile enemy and all that sort of stuff as well. So if you do that sort of teamwork, it greatly reduces the odds of everybody dying horribly. As well, how likely your character is to die depends too on their access to medical care. So we see that even through conflicts throughout history, and even in modern conflicts. If you are combatant in a country like Ukraine, then you've got about a 50-50 chance of dying after being wounded in combat. If you're a combatant with a country like the United States, you've only got about a 2 or 3% chance of dying after being wounded in combat. Basically, if they can get you off the battlefield alive, then they can save you. So access to prompt medical care is a huge thing, which again, that's a sort of a more elaborate teamwork. Like, is there a big organization behind you, and so on. So so it depends how you run things as well. So that I hope that answers your question. What's that? Yeah, and in private chat, they're being sarcastic. Sensible players. Sappy says, yeah, there's always a caveat. Yeah, sensible. Well, it's up to the players. It's up to the players. Anyone can get unlucky, but the flip side is you can be a total idiot and still get lucky and do well. So the fictional setting that I've come up with is Frankistan. The idea, it's a former Soviet republic that became independent after the fall of the Soviet Union, and there's a conflict going on within that. I came up with this before a certain war that's going on nowadays.
Right. Right. We have to be careful about talking about that too.
Yeah. And the place is horribly corrupt, but they're corrupt on the side of the West, so they get helped by the West. And they're at the stage where most of the Western troops are withdrawing and handing it over to the locals, so that the player character team, they will be largely on their own. They're not, because it's always, when you come up with a campaign setting, you want, the model has always got to be D&D, really. It's essentially post-apocalyptic. They're out there on their own. The players are not going to be like a team of half a dozen in like a Roman legion or something. Nobody wants to roleplay being part of the Roman legion and just being part of the line. Now, if they're like the cavalry and the scouts and they go out by themselves, that's a bit different. Players are kind of independent-minded and they want to be able to do their own thing. Yeah. Robert asks, how many rounds needed to win a shootout? Well, as many rounds as it takes you to hit him. So, anything else?
I'm gonna put this up here real quick, guys, for anyone who's curious and you want to pick up Conflict on Drive Through RPG. But Kyle, I always forget this because I'm a numbskull. So if you wanna throw up the link to the print version, as I said, print is always better than PDF. But I get it. Some folks, for whatever it's worth, you might have a reason to want a PDF copy versus a physical copy, but it's lightweight. It's not something that's going to eat a ton of shelf space. You flatten this sucker out between some heavy hardback books or under between your 45-pound plates. Everybody has 45-pound plates, I'm assuming, and it'll slip handily onto a bookshelf. Vaughn Print says print is easier on the eyes. It absolutely is. So there it is on drive-through, and there it is on Lulu. So you can get that, get a bound copy of that as you like.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to carry it around in your pocket or your handbag or man bag.
As I've said before, it slits very nicely into a cargo shorts pocket, which is the state dress of Florida.
All right, let's bring some of these poor guys online who've been waiting for half an hour to.
Yes, they're getting
make this
they're getting restless in the green room.
Let's bring them on and have them introduce themselves.
Alrighty, so first up to the stage is a green recruit from the States with an itchy trigger finger, or that could just be some dermatitis flaring up. We have Jason W.
Hello.
Greetings.
Oh my God, my first time streaming. Please be gentle.
No.
Picked the wrong game for that, probably.
Proof that stop loss will stop at no ends to call up experienced veterans. Let us welcome a friend to this channel and an all-around swell guy, the one, the only Uncle Brat. Good evening, sir.
That's me. Can I be heard?
You can be heard, absolutely. I'm just trying to find the best layout for us here, guys. I'm not trying to be an egomaniac.
That's quite all right.
And of course, the one, the only, you know her from Gamma World. You knew her from Traveler. And now we're going to see how she survives under fire. It is Kennick1. Good evening.
Hello, peeps.
So,
hey.
And if you get sick of me, blame her because she's the one who dragged me into this.
all right, so let's do that. There we go. That's kind of that's kind of a good layout. And as always, guys, as I say during Gamma World, as I say during First Edition AD&D, and Kyle is the game master. I'm hoping it's okay with him if I say this. This isn't just like a web show where we're just up here for our egos and your money. However, that last one does help.
That's what I'm here for.
Of course.
Nice.
And in fact, Kyle, I'm going to double your pay. That's right, 2 times what you're making now. At any rate, if you have questions, again, because this is not just a storefront display. This is not just a demo loop being run on a video. This is actually something you guys can interact with. If you have a question, if you want to know why this, that, or the other, ask in the chat. And one of us, probably in this instance, Kyle, since he's going to be driving tonight, we will do our best endeavor to answer those questions for you. So don't be shy.
Yeah, we're just gaming. This is gaming for real. This isn't Critical Bull. This is we're doing the real thing here. I mean, you could tell by our stumbling around that it's not scripted, but still.
Yes. Yes, Vaughn, I am playing. I am not winning. Witness a rare event. This is like your Bigfoot UFO Elvis footage. So start your screen capture devices now.
So we'll continue with a little overview of the rules. We're not going to read every single page, but a little overview to give viewers an idea. So I tried to put little inspirational quotes from cheesy action movies at the start of every little, not chapter, but section. Making an adventure. Diplomacy is option 1. Military is option 2. When option 1 and option 2 are abandoned, there's only one thing left, which is us. character called James Silver in Mile 22. That was a wonderful movie where, in order to solve their problems, they had to basically run and gun through all of Jakarta in Indonesia and unalive whole people along the way. Everyone who got in their way, including a whole bunch of innocent civilians. It wasn't perhaps as careless of innocent life as the Extraction movies, but nonetheless, that's what it was. And it was a wonderful and enjoyable movie. Yeah. Each player should create 2 or 3 adventurers, allowing them some freedom to choose one appropriate for the mission, and giving a backup should one perish horribly. And of course, if one is wounded and recovering, then while they're recovering, that you can play another one. Typically, the adventurers are people who have finished university or uniformed service and are now looking to become mercenaries or do other off-the-books work for governments, corporations, or private organizations, including criminal ones. In principle, the referee could have an entirely military or police campaign. However, real-world uniformed service requires a degree of obedience to authority and procedure, which is alien to most players. I think that's a reasonable assessment, yeah?
Yes.
Murder hobo.
Yeah. So, okay. So there's nationality, gender, and stuff. They make no difference in terms of game mechanics. They may, of course, make a difference in how things come out and play, role-playing through various cultures and so on. But anyway, they make no game mechanic difference. For their attributes, people will throw 2d6 and attributes 0 if the throw is 2 to 4, +1 if it's 5 to 9, +2 if it's 10 to 11, or +3 if it's 12. In terms of what they mean, social 0, it's social health and education. Social 0 is the underclass, your illegal immigrants, convicted felons, and so on. Social class 1 is the wage class. Social 2 is salaried. Social class 3 is the upper class. To give you an idea of their lifestyle, the underclass do not shower much. The wage class shower after work. The salaried class shower before work. And the upper class, somebody else bathes them. So, then there's health. Health 0. Some people are sickly, forever unwell. Health 1, sedentary, but not sickly. Not yet anyway. Health 2 is active, and health 3 is athletic. So social obviously adds to dice throws to do with social interactions. Health, things like remaining conscious after being shot. And then there's education. Education 0 is primary, 1 is high school, 2 is university, and 3 is postgrad. Now and then there's readiness, as I talked about earlier. Someone with readiness 0 will not act at all. They may only drop to crouch or prone or flee if they think themselves unobserved. Most people will not act usefully in a trauma situation without training, experience, or leadership. This doesn't only apply to combat, guys. This applies to first aid situations as well. Anyone who's been done CPR or anything like that, you see most people just milling around uselessly or filming you on their mobile phones or something. Okay, now you've got all the expertises, the skills, and the way the system works is that you've got the general skill, like for example, presence, and then there are familiarities to that. There's about 6 familiarities for each one. So there's presence. You can have presence, which is intimidating, a presence which is about dressing up nicely, presence which is just grey man, just disappear into the crowd kind of thing. Like Jason Bourne has got presence. You know, he's not the handsome super spy kind of thing. He can just disappear into the crowd and nobody notices him. He's got presence, grey man. And you can get the multiple familiarities, and once you've got 3 familiarities, it becomes an expertise. So it goes from having +1 in those things to having +3, and you get all the others. So for example, if you've got firearms, once you've got firearms, handguns, and then assault rifles, and then machine guns, you don't need to get a separate skill for shotguns and rocket propelled grenades and all the rest. You could just use them. You figured it out. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Yeah, and the rest is about creating the character. You go through terms and all the rest. Today we'll use pre-generated ones, so it doesn't matter. But,
No.
looking forward to rolling your dice, were you? Don't worry, you get to roll the dice, and in the couple of weeks before the next session, because I've got school holidays, so the next one will be October 5th. Then in those couple of weeks, we'll generate some characters online. What I might do is, just for fun, present a little intro that I've got at the moment, subject to change depending on who comes along. There we go.
I hope that wasn't me. Come on, blast it. Is that me?
Is which you?
So on Wednesday nights we'll have some custom opening credits for you guys. So you'll get a break from Summer Mountains.
Throw Matt Damon on the grenade. What's that? Oh, that must be from Team America and World Police or something. Vaughn, it is a fictional world. We keep the world fictional, even if it's somewhat based on the real world. We keep it fictional to avoid any hurt feelings, essentially. Particularly, hurt feelings. And also, most of us will or can enjoy a realistic themed game, but we don't necessarily want it to be completely real.
You don't really... no blood and guts.
Well, there might be some blood and gut, but there won't be, the wound, it just says a minor, a severe, or a mortal wound. It doesn't say that you've got a ruptured femoral artery.
Yeah, no splatter here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't say that your bowels are coming out.
Okay.
Or you accidentally shot a small child or whatever. It's
unalive the small child.
I'm a big believer in fading to black.
I think it was fun that said ventilated instead of unalive.
Yeah.
Perforated?
It's like
well ventilated.
It's like the other day my kids were watching Superman, the 1978 one.
Okay.
And my 7-year-old daughter was sort of anxiously asking, there's a bit where the cop follows Otis to the underground lair, and the doorway is that recessed thing that the railway line's got the recessed thing, or the tunnel,
right, and
so you can step in, and it opens up for Otis. And then the cop follows him, and he's sort of feeling around, going, "How does this open?" And then Lex sort of pushes a button to push the guy out in front of a train. And the other cops follow along, and they just pick up his squashed hat. And my daughter's, anxiously asking, "Oh, they didn't really kill the actor, did they?" I'm like, no, they didn't. And they're not going to show us the body, are they? And I'm like, well, they don't have to. He went, he got hit by a train. It's like, we know what happened. We know what the result was.
We can see his gravestone later.
Yeah, killing the actors just ups the budget of the movie. They just got to frown on that.
Yeah, that's that innovation,
and then they list all the actors that died in the movie.
That innovation didn't come along until Alec Baldwin started filming Rust.
Wow!
Too soon. A little too soon.
Too soon.
Well, you could have made a Crow reference for Brandon Lee, so
yeah.
History just repeats.
A very expensive movie.
Yeah, right.
I'll be right back.
But yeah, she's like, she thought like maybe the camera was going to pan down and show the horrible remains, and I'm like, no, they don't need to. We know what happened. He now has 0 hit points. Okay, that's
yes.
Wait, did she actually want to see the body? Because I'd be a bit concerned about that.
No, I don't think she wanted to see it. I think it was just that childish sort of like, you're scared, but you want to look, but you're scared. But
yeah.
So you'd just rather it's not there to look at. Like if they see a bird or a cat that's been run over or something like that.
Yeah.
They can't help but look. There's that human morbid curiosity, but they would really rather not see it. And you can't help what comes out in nature like that, but you can help what comes up in movies. Yeah, which is why we show children Superman and not Friday the 13th or something.
Right.
Leatherface with his chainsaw or something. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm a believer in fade to black. We get the idea. We don't need to go into the gruesome details too much.
Exactly. Fade to black for anything. To be honest, I mean, anything that's not outright nerdery. I think we can all just do with a little bit of fade to black.
Michael asked if the gameplay will be similar to a typical tabletop role-playing game. That depends on the players, Michael. That depends on the players.
If you watch the 2 seasons of Traveler we ran, I'll let you be the judge, Michael. If you watched our 2 seasons of Classic Traveler play, probably. Probably.
Okay, so all right, now I will share with you guys the pre-generated characters that I've got. Where are we? Oh, I closed that. Oh no, here we go. Too many screens. All right, where are we? Here we go. Okay, so these are pre-generated characters. Now, should be able to see they occupy very little space, like a traveler character or a basic D&D character or something like this. So Ellen Sumawata, this woman, she has a social class 0. She comes from a really scummy background. She's very healthy. It's 0, 1, 2, or 3 in the stats. And she finished primary school, but not high school. But she has good readiness. She gets 2 actions in every combat round. She's 31 years old. She attempted to enter uni. In the character generation system. You attempt to enter university or army, police, or whatever, and it's called an achievement throw because whether you succeed or fail, it occupies a year of your life, at least a year of your life. If you succeed, you do a 4-year term, but even if you fail, it occupies a year of your life because the idea is that you spent some months training for the fitness test or for the academic entrance exams and that sort of thing. And if you fail, you sort of just slump around depressed for the next few months, as people tend to when they fail to get into the police or fail to get into uni or whatever. That year is done. You didn't do anything more productive in that year.
Children of the
She
night.
did 3 terms in the army.
Shut
So
up.
after failing to get into university, she did 3 terms in the army, and she was in the intelligence corps for 1 year. She has an expertise in endurance. So for all endurance tasks, she has +3. She can just go and go and go for miles and miles. Language. She has English, conversational, and literacy. There's 3 levels of language: conversational, literate, and then technical, where you can read PhDs and technical manuals and stuff. She can speak Arab conversationally. She has a presence of grey man. She can just disappear into the crowd. Probably comes from being social class 0. She has brawling skill. She can sweep people off their feet. She can observe people. So you know that little bit in the Bourne Identity where he's saying, I can tell that guy at the bar is 220 pounds and knows how to handle himself and blah, blah, blah. That's observation skill. But she's skilled at observing persons. She's a technician for communications devices and explosives. That's Ellen Sumawata. Then we have Sullivan Stapleton, social class 1. He's a working class background. Health 3. He's a super fit guy. Education 1. He remembers primary school. He doesn't remember much of high school. And he's just got readiness 1. So he's useful, but not super useful. He's 30 years old, and he did 3 terms in commando. Despite not having a huge education, he can read technical level of English. He's got conversational level in Georgian and in Russian as well. And he's good at sport. He does sports, rugby. He's familiar with assault rifles and handguns. He's familiar with first aid. He knows how to survive in an arid region, and he knows how to be stealthy in an arid region. And he's got tactical observation skill. So he's that guy who can spot the best place for an ambush and that sort of thing. Warren Brown, he's another working class lad, healthy, not very educated, but he's ready. He's another guy who did 3 terms in commandos. 1 term in commandos, 2 terms in the army generally. He's literate. He's done a lot of strength work, strongman. He likes to pick up heavy rocks and that sort of thing. Endurance, night. That means he can stay up all night and it doesn't bother him. I mean, after a week or so, he might get tired, but brawl. He's a boxer. He can ride a motorbike. He can fire a handgun and a machine gun, and he's got survival focused on temperate regions. Then we got Stu Bennett. He's another working class lad, super healthy and fit, and not very well educated. At readiness 1. He's 34 years old. He did 2 terms in the commandos, 4 terms, and another 2 terms in the army generally. He's very well spoken, surprisingly, despite his looks. And strength. So he's got all the strength one. He's done powerlifting. He's done weightlifting. He's done strongman work. He's done body weight work, everything. Brawling. He can punch you. He can kick you. He can sweep you off your feet. He can wrestle you. He can do everything. And then he's familiar with observation, tactical, presence, intimidation. So he's not the guy who dresses up nice or who disappears into the crowd. If you look at him, you can see why. But he is the guy who scares the crap out of you when you look at him. And he fires a handgun, and he's good at being stealthy in an urban setting. So those are the 4 pre-gens that we have got. Who's choosing which?
I'll take Ellen.
Give me the last one.
Who's choosing which? Hands up, boys and girls.
Uncle Brad for number 4.
I can't hear anything.
Can you not hear us, Kyle?
Uncle Brad for number 4.
I think Kyle's had some audio issues.
Yeah. I'll go for Sullivan.
Yeah, we've run into some audio issues. Hang on a second. Kyle's dropping. He'll be right back, of course, with the character sheets and everything. And this is, as I tell people, that this is how this is the real deal. This is this is how everything is actual RP stuff. The guy had to step away from the table for a minute. This is not fake. This is not scripted, and we are not a multi-million-dollar conglomeration.
Hello. Can anyone else hear me?
I can hear you, Uncle Brett.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, your audio is 5x5 for us.
In that case, I promise not to sing any of the we could say the Jerome Kern musicals.
Oh, hey, if you sing them too good, we could get copyright struck. So we actually do have a question. This is for Jason. Doomsword wants to know what kind of stuff is on the shelves behind you there.
That's a bunch of the stuff on the shelf is the board games. The wife is in the board games. All my role playing stuff is over on a shelf that way.
Okay. What kind of board games does she dig? She a Euro gamer or what?
A lot of Eurogamer. Worker placements is favorite. Hers her favorite kind of mechanic. Mine's more the deck building kind. But, yeah, she actually really likes Lords of Waterdeep. So
interesting. Yeah, I think they were pushing for a number of years around 4th edition. There was a push, I think, to gamify as many Forgotten Realms and other properties at Wizards of the Coast just to see if something stuck. So you had a lot of games, and the people I know that bought them so they could get the minis to use in their D&D games. You buy a $70 board game that you're probably never going to play, but then you get 40 or 50 miniatures with it, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, that one's just like standard wood meeples in it. There's no minis in that one at all.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, the only Venn diagram crossover I have going with that and tabletop RPGs is, of course, I have Hero Quest. Hero Quest is the best game in the world, and I have Dungeon, which I think if you're an old school D&Der and you don't have a copy of Dungeon, whatever are you doing with your life, and why aren't you doing it better? Now, I have Games Workshop stuff from the days when Game Workshop was not made of suck. So I have Blood Royale, which is a quasi war game, board game, role-playing game, all kind of mixed up with risk and diplomacy. It's fantastic, but you absolutely need a day or more to play. The campaign we played in the 90s lasted months of Blood Royale and Space Hulk, because Space Hulk is made of awesome. Hey, there's Kyle. Let's see if we can add him back and get his voice. Yeah. Oh, Kyle. If you're speaking, we still can't hear you, my friend.
Can you hear me?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can.
All right.
Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear us, Kyle?
That doesn't look like it.
Nah, that's not a good sign.
Or he's just ignoring me, and I'm used to that.
Yeah.
One, if you can hear us. Two, if you can't.
Well, if he doesn't respond, obviously he can't.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Well, then we know there's nothing there.
I can hear you on YouTube.
But you can't hear us directly through the
StreamYard.
Huh.
That's weird. Let me
10-second delay. So
Oh, that's
Ew.
Yeah, that
Twilight
10-second
Zone.
delay from YouTube to StreamYard is bad.
it is. It is. We're going to be doing PBEM speeds.
Well,
By the way,
it's the to cut out any of our profanities or what have you.
right? Yeah, the old 7-second delay there. By the way, while we're waiting for Kyle to get this resolved, if you're watching this LHRPG official, please send me deets on the thing you wanted me to link, and I will be more than happy to. I don't know if you're kind of listening listening off in the background or something like that, but I will be more than happy to share that. It's just you can't put it up, in the chat to me. You'll have to send it to me some other fashion, and I will be more than happy to do that. I note that LHRPG dipped on the live stream, but unfortunately, Kyle is hearing us in a minute delay.
Have you got me now?
We can hear you now.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, good. It decided to start working.
Woo-hoo!
I was monitoring away and threatening to uninstall it, so that obviously put it in its place.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Jason, I was going to ask you, do you have how many computer decks do you have behind you?
Computer decks. Oh God. There's one old laptop. There's a all-in-one touchscreen one. There's like old laptops lying around. Everything like breaks down on me, and I just like kind of cannibal them for parts.
Yeah, I still have an SX64 Commodore.
Excellent. Excellent.
Old school.
I am really old school.
Yeah, I got a Raspberry Pi around here somewhere.
The executive, a great, into the early 2000s, still a sought after machine for some scientific applications, believe it or not. Anyway, so Kyle, we were going down the choices of characters.
Yeah, so you heard all that. I hadn't cut out, had I? You heard all my blather before.
Yes, we heard you talking about the characters. Your audio to us had not cut out until.
Good.
Yeah, we were all spitting out names, and then you couldn't hear us at all.
Yeah.
So Jason put his hand up for Sullivan. There was no argument over that, was it?
Nope.
Okay, good. So,
I was looking at number 4 for Uncle Brat.
Uncle Brat was looking at
Stu,
the idiot. Give me the idiot.
And I was going to go with Elaine.
Yeah. Safi. All right, so that leaves who?
Me.
I think Warren.
That leaves Bill, who's getting Warren.
That's right.
All righty.
Oh, Jason. Who are you getting? Who do you have
Sullivan
involved to? Sullivan.
I got Sullivan. Got Sully. I've already nicknamed him, which means he's probably going to die first.
No, I'm going to die.
No. You only die if you start talking about your girlfriend back home or something.
Right.
Hey, did you hear about my girlfriend, Brett, back home?
Or alternately, if you run out and do a custom STL miniature and have it repainted and order it, that's the easiest way to get your character killed.
I did that for the last D&D game I played. I actually made the character, and he died that session when I finally brought him in.
There you go.
Which is why I exclusively use Lego minifigs now. They're cheaper.
Stick your hand in the box of $1.50. I guess they're probably $4.50 now. D&D minis, loose D&D minis at your FLGS. Grab one at random. That character will make it to level 20 and retire as a lord or a lady or whatever. Go out and buy a metal mini and paint it or have it painted. 2 sessions. 2 sessions max. That's how karma works there.
And heaven forbid that you should airbrush it down.
Yeah. Well, this is like the first time I've like kind of played in a while. I've been like game mastering a lot, so.
So we got to watch out because you'll be one of the sillier players then.
Yeah, I'm kind of punchy. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once you're no longer game mastering, I have no responsibility. Normally, I'm responsible for everyone else's fun. Now I have no responsibility at all. Woohoo!
Oh God! Now I feel like I'm playing, Call of Cthulhu.
It depends on the other players. Okay, so this is who we've got. Then we've got Alan being played by Safi.
I'll be right back. I promise.
We got Sullivan being played by Jason. We got Warren being played by Uncle Brett. Hang on, I've got Uncle Brett twice. You've got Sullivan, haven't you? Got Hound. Who's got Bill?
Warren is Bill.
Yeah, Bill. Now I
yeah.
Up. That's what I get for typing and having a conversation at the same time.
We'll forgive you this time, Kyle.
But it's going to cost you later.
Do not taunt the game master.
He loves me.
Never taught the game master.
He loves me. He invited me.
Yeah, and you invited me, which means I mean nothing to him.
That's
you
all on
can
you.
invite someone because you love them, or you can invite someone because you want to make them suffer. It can go either way.
Maybe both. Who says I have to be one-dimensional?
See, if I bring somebody else, they'll kill him and leave me alone. I had to run faster than the bear. I got to run faster than the other guy.
All right, so we're back to these characters. Good. So they've got the 4 laid out. All right, so this is the training scenario. The training scenario is that there's been a bank robbery and the police have arrived and cordoned off the area. And so the bank robbers are holed up and they've got some hostages in there. Okay, and in a moment I'm going to show you the map. Now they don't have a regular map of the bank, but they do have the electrics, the electric device mounting map, which was important because that's how the safe got mounted and all the rest. So let's show that to you. Do you guys want to just go through and note down your character stats and everything?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
All right, so Safi, you note it down, and when you're finished, tell us. Or just screen cap it or whatever, as you like.
Yeah, I was actually writing it down as you were talking, so
okay, cool.
Other than gear kind of thing, I'm assuming it's like standard type thing because it's not noted, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
All right, Jason, you want to note it down?
Okay.
Or, as I said, just screen cap it, probably fine.
Yeah, I'm just going to do snipping tool when you get to mine, Kyle, which I think is the next dude.
Yeah, you're number 3, Bill.
Let us know when you're finished, Jason.
Okay. Rugby. Not football, rugby.
Hey, Paint Minis Live. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the audience in the show. What does SHE plus R mean?
Social health, education, and readiness.
Mm-hmm.
Rated 0 to 3.
Oh, I didn't note that on mine. Is it important or no?
Well, note it down, 0 to 1 plus 2. The readiness is definitely important.
Okay, let's see. Come on, where's the screen?
Okay, so 0 to 1 plus 2. Got it. Okay, good.
All right, I
Go
think I got the screen grab. All right, should be okay.
Cool. All right, Bill.
All right. Done and dusted, Kyle.
Cool.
And Uncle Brett,
And-
are you back yet, sir?
Yeah. I'll wait for him to get back.
All right, well, that's the last one. We can leave it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem.
Intimidating looking bloke. It's actually a screen grab from I can't even remember what the movie was called. One of the genre of action movies that I enjoy are those ones that are filmed over about 3 weeks in like one old factory or something. They've just got one set basically, and yeah, they're really cheesy, and they've got the low grade actors and the real B grade actors, the guys who don't make a living from doing those movies. They do something else. I think those movies are awesome.
The stunt guys who actually want to act, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was less of a penchant towards bloody, violent action movies. Exploitation films is what they called them in the 70s. But you could always spot in like the late 70s to early-ish 80s, like if it had Monty Markham or Dick Durock or I'm trying to think who else might have been in there. Tommy Kirk before he was getting out of the acting business, or the guys they played the Warriors in the titular film. It was always this stable of dudes in action movies from that era, and there was inevitably a stuntman turned actor. I will say one is I've gone blank on the movie. I think it was Stick with Burt Reynolds. There was Dar Robinson played opposite Burt Reynolds, and he played a psycho hitman, and actually did a pretty good job. So the late great Dar Robinson. That is correct, Starlaw. I believe that is it's a strength, health, education, reaction. Is that the acronym?
Well, yeah, we call it readiness, but you could call it reaction. It's how many actions you have in a round, and it also adds to your surprise or initiative. Are you ready to do things, or do you go, huh, what?
Exactly. Now I want to look that up. Let's see.
Now, through Bill's account here, I'm just posting a link to the map, which once Uncle Brat comes up, we can put that up as the screen. But that's a map, or the electronics map of the bank. And the exterior of the bank is like big, thick, like carved stone bricks. And they've got high windows, and the windows have got bars on them, and so on. So the easiest and most obvious entrance is through those front doors.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going that way.
All right. Do a screen grab there, Uncle Brat, and you can get your character sheet.
Hold on here. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And if you need me to, I can grab it and throw it to you over in Discord if you'd like.
If you do that, that'd be appreciated. I can't
All right.
remember how to do a screen save.
Not a problem. And Kyle, I'm going to need you to scroll back up to mine here in just a second because they do not. Let's see.
You forgot to save it?
I did not paste it. That is correct. So hang on a second here. And I will send this to you in a private message, Uncle Brett. So you'll have it right there.
On Discord?
And here it comes.
I've just put the adventurers file up in the JPEG. The adventurers file up in the Discord. Sorry.
Okay.
The Wastrel Wednesday Discord. So
All righty. And that is to you now, Uncle Brett.
Okay, got it.
Excellent.
All right. Now I'm going to share the map, and you guys can have a look at it and think about what questions you want to ask about the place. As I said,
Oh God.
that is what you're looking at. Okay. That stuff in the top left corner is the electronics of the safe, which you probably don't have to worry about. The electrics of the safe. But yeah, so over on the right, you've got the entrance where all
So Madison Avenue is the entrance right there?
Yeah, where all the customers go in. It's a nominal Madison Avenue. This is actually a training facility out in the middle of nowhere somewhere. Yeah, so yeah, you can see it's a series of offices and so on. And the safe is out the back, in the back left. So where they've got a door, that's actually just a locker.
This is supposed to be a bank?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
not
it's a
very
bank.
secure. What the hell? All these windows? Are you kidding me?
Well, all the windows, like I said, so there's big, thick brick walls and like stone, carved stone walls. And then the windows, quite high windows, they're about 6 foot off the ground. And they've got iron bars on them. You know, the iron bars, you know when you've got the like the old brownstone walk-ups, and then the lower area, they'll have those iron bars on the windows. They've got that sort of thing.
Right, yeah, the security bars on the lower windows.
Yeah, except they've got the security bars on the 6 foot high windows. They will normally have one security guard inside just the front lobby area, and there will usually be another security guard floating around somewhere.
Okay,
one security guard upon the arrival of the armed bandits decided to evacuate the area because he was just middle-aged and overweight and a very low readiness. You don't know if he'll be employed after this, but he had like no body armor and just like a 5-shot 22 revolver and stuff. So
I'm sorry, but are we trying to rob this bank, or are we trying to?
We're trying to get hostages out.
You're trying to rescue the hostages.
Oh, darn it all.
Is there a lower level
Hey, you can
or a
multitask.
second floor?
For the purposes of this training exercise, this is it.
So, okay, there's no lower level or
This
upper
is
level.
it, yeah. So you can't go in from
Do
the
we have a
ceiling
roof
or from the
access at all or no?
No. It'll
have
be
no
through one of the
idea.
windows or one of the doors.
Any idea where the hostages are, or how many assailants are there?
Well, you'll be scouting it out. So you can make a plan to scout it out and all the rest.
Okay.
I'm going to take a brief break, and you guys can discuss your approach. Like I said, you've got time. They're not saying that they're about to shoot hostages or whatever. You can just assume that you're a police SWAT team or the SAS, that they've been the local police have handed over control to the military to deal with this because they're worried about hostages getting shot. And your mission will be to rescue the hostages. Whether or not you happen to kill the hostage takers in the meantime is immaterial. They don't want you to kill them. They don't want you to keep them alive. The main thing is to save hostages' lives.
Kyle,
That's the
are-
primary thing.
how many entrances to this?
Well, you
facility
have a
are
look at the map. So the main entrances
It looks
are,
like
as
there's
you can
4, from what I can tell.
In the front, yeah.
see. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm going
we
to take
got
a
There's
one
brief
2 in
break
the
while you
back and
guys
2 in the front.
There's
Nothing
that
on
one
the
in the
side.
brief
back.
break while you guys discuss.
Okay, for our
Do
audience
we
sake,
have
let's
provision?
no. Anyway, so for our audience sake, we'll try and minimize the crosstalk. So we'll just kind of do a talking stick down the screen. Hostages are going to be in a central location, bunched together, with a gunman nearby, covering them, basically trying to draw us into not shooting, essentially using them as human shields until they get their demands. They haven't issued any violent or else demands. We don't know how many active bad guys there are. I think the first order of business is going to be to carefully and quietly, avoiding the windows, check each entrance. If you look at the map, we're going to come up to the southern wall. We're going to split into 2 teams, moving around, checking windows and entrances, and then meet on the northern side of the map, so we have a clearer picture. If we get a glance in, that's fine. Don't get involved right now, particularly if it's just one of the 2 teams. We are first and foremost, we're casing the place out to see where they might be. If we go in guns blazing, there's going to be a lot of green tags that are going to be lying on the floor, and we don't want that.
Right. I would suggest, I'm making the general assumption that the major entrance to this institution is on the east side.
Yeah,
those double
there.
doors.
Yeah.
Up there where the BNY Mellon logo is on the plan. Yeah, that's
Yeah, the Madison Avenue.
I'm in agreement with you there. So
and I think that first looks like a spiral staircase. If you just go straight west of that location, I think that's where they're going to have almost all their hostages.
Yeah, it's pretty cut off from everywhere else. Yeah.
They want a quick location, an immediate location, and that seems to be the best point.
I'm thinking right behind there, because you've got a door.
The only trouble there is that they're going to who knows, they don't know if hostages could decide, oh, hey, we're gonna pop into this door here, and so they don't have access to them immediately.
I'm wondering
they would want them right in front of them.
I'm wondering what kind of equipment we have, because I would love to try, because you see it in like all the friggin' hostage movies, to try to drop in a camera somewhere from the roof or ventilation or something, just to get a peek inside before we charge in.
Let's ask our illustrious game
a window.
Well, it's a bank, so they should have internal surveillance that we might be able to tap into.
Unless they shut it all off.
Yeah. I mean, if they've cased this place well enough, they may already have access to that. But I think that's a good plan A, because if we can access that, then we immediately don't have to worry about sticking cameras and mics on windows. So, Game Master, first question, internal security. I guess you didn't want to answer that question. So yeah, we'll ask him when he gets back, and then failing that, if we can get a laser mic on a window, if we can get if we can get a camera on the screen, or a camera on a window or something to watch, that would be dandy. Or even I'm not sure what timeline we're playing in.
Yeah.
But if we have access, if it's a 21st century and we have access to a micro drone, that wouldn't suck.
Or infrared camera would work.
We wouldn't even need, the idea of, for a window, because remember, the window itself is an acoustical property. And so, that is going to vibrate.
Which is why I was talking about the laser mic.
Yeah,
you don't even need the laser mic. There are other acoustical devices that will work just as well.
Well, if we have it, it's unobtrusive, but we'll see. So, Kyle, can you hear us?
You've got one of the training sergeants here he's role playing the rattle security guard, so he could, if you talk to him, he might be able to tell you something about the hostage takers and the hapless civilians.
How many bad guys did you see? 4. Okay. Did they bunch everybody up in one place?
Well, he said they came in and they chased me out. So yeah, they were coming in and.
Okay, so you didn't see. Okay.
They had me get down on the ground. Well, they stood up on tables and on counters and shouted at people and stuff, and they had me get down on the ground. And as soon as they weren't looking, I got out. Okay.
Is your internal security surveillance gear is it externally connected? Can we access it?
No. There's just a panic button which someone must have pressed, and that's why the police came.
Okay, I got you. How were they armed? Was it pistols, rifles, or combination? Any shotguns?
I saw 2 handguns and 2 long arms, probably shotguns.
Okay. Did you see anything heavy dangling off of their coats? Anything looks like a thermos or a drink bottle? Anything like that?
No.
Okay. Let me see.
Did like any type of liquid explosive?
Right. Did anyone seem to be giving the orders?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all wearing balaclavas, though.
They're all wearing balaclavas. So they clearly they've got a command structure. Let's see. Let me think.
Do they have body armor, or does their weaponry or armor?
Yeah. Just
military in level.
They look bulky.
They're wearing body armor, but body armor that's usually accessible to civilians, like a stab vest.
Like stuff. I gotcha. Wish.com map battle.
It's not full on plate carrier or explosive ordnance disposal or whatever.
Okay.
So we're good with shotguns or that type of thing.
Yeah, small arms, yeah.
Handguns would probably be ineffective.
Yeah.
Depends on the handgun. 22, yeah. A 50 cal.
You're not going to find a 50 cal handgun.
As you, not a useful one, but you get one.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah, you can have one.
Okay.
So the way the combat system works, Uncle Brett, is that you've got levels of armor and levels of weapon, and basically, if the level of weapon is lower or equal to if the level of weapon is equal to or lower than the level of armor, the armor protects, but it doesn't totally stop it. It just reduces the odds.
Right.
What's happening? Because, like, you think of a plate carrier, it covers the central part of the chest, but it's still, there's other parts, and it can come in under the armpit and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so it just reduces the odds of the lethal.
The old 38 special.
Right.
I shouldn't say the 38 special. It was the 38 auto.
Oh, the 380.
No, not the 380.
Not the 380. Okay.
This was the full 38. It was the 38 special automatic, and it was done as a replacement for the Colt 38 auto from like 1900, which was an FN model, and but the thing is that this came out in 1929, and it was supposedly could penetrate the bulletproof vests at that time period in 1929.
Well, fortunately,
this is not 1929.
It's not 1929. Yeah, exactly. I just want to say, by the way, real quick, Paint Minis Live, thank you from the bottom of my heart. That is so helpful.
Very, very kind. Now we can swear as much as we want, because
now we can swear as much as we fucking well want to.
Bill T of Paint Minis Live has given us more money than the monetization bill. So.
Yes, this video. Thank you. If you happen to have an open seat, that is up to Kyle. Kyle, you have an open seat.
I invited him to play anyway, but
Okay, well there you go, PML. So after this little training session here, yes, we will absolutely have a seat. So thank you so much. I kid about the supers a lot, but you guys, those of you who do, it is so generous, and I appreciate it. Whether it's $1 or anything is really awesome, and that is simply amazing. We love us some Paint Minis Live around here in general, and that super is incredibly generous of you. Thank you. Thank you,
Bill T.
And hey, Vaughn,
as I was saying, so that if your weapon level is less than or equal to the armor level, it provides some protection. If the weapon level exceeds it, it doesn't provide any protection. It's as if you're wearing nothing. Like if you get shot with a 22 and you're wearing a leather jacket, it might help you a bit. If you get shot with a 45, it doesn't matter if you're wearing a leather jacket or you're topless. It's the same end result. It's not going to make any difference. Or not enough that falls within the granularity of the game.
Hey, stop the topless routine.
So I have a question.
Yep.
Are the basically the bad guys in this case, were they masked or disguising their appearances at all?
Yeah, they had balaclavas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
it's a training scenario. So the military guys, they're training you, saying, there's not going to be any strange complications where the hostage takers hide among the hostages. They might use them as human shields, but they're not going to disguise themselves as one. There's not going to be any strange complications like this. This is a tactical exercise where you have to take out the hostage takers, whether it be lethally or non-lethally, and without any casualties amongst the hostages. This is a simple tactical scenario. We're not going to throw in strange shit at you. The hostage takers aren't going to like pop up with a minigun or something like that.
Right, and we know that our opponents are easily identifiable.
Yes.
And we know, the hostages are also easily identifiable.
Okay, question for our range marshals or our range instructors. What do we as a team have access to in terms of technology?
Right. Yeah.
Drones, laser mics.
So you have access to M4 rifles. You have access to M111 pistols, whichever you want to take in with you. You have access to low-level military armor, level 2 body armor.
Okay.
You can have one little surveillance drone if you wish, and you can also have 3 flashbangs each. So that's the grenade that just throws, that you just chuck in and it concusses.
Right.
Okay.
How much ammo for that model 1911?
Mm-hmm. And they'll give you 3 magazines for each one.
3 magazines.
So that's 21 rounds.
Yeah, we don't count rounds in this. Basically, we don't count rounds in this. It's too tedious. What we do is basically you roll, because a combat round, as you'll discover, is in an indeterminate period of time in which you do a series of actions. And so when you throw the dice to see if you hit, you're seeing if you get an effective hit. So that might be boom, 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 and then the last boom hits him, or that might be boom, and then he falls down. Because if you have a higher skilled guy, or if you have a better shot, you only need 1 shot to get an effective shot.
Right.
If you're a spray and pray kind of guy, then you need a whole magazine to get it. So when you roll a stoppage level, like there's a stoppage number for weapons, and when you roll the stoppage level, then you have to change magazines. Whether it's a stoppage, just a gun jam, or whether you've run out of rounds or whatever, doesn't matter. In the heat of the moment, you've got a stoppage, you've got to take magazine off, you've got to change it. Or change to a different weapon, or pull out your knife.
Or try to alleviate the stoppage.
Yes. Yeah, you've got to do that. So we just count reloads. So we count magazines. And the stoppage number is affected by basically the condition of the weapon. So if it's an old rusty thing, it's more likely to have a stoppage. And it's also affected by things like if you fire full auto, then you get
my model 1911 has better be in pristine condition.
Well, the ones you get are in new condition.
That's good.
Once you're issued them in theatre, well, the condition they're in is up to you. But when they're issued to you, they are in new condition. You're not in a third world army.
Hey, I'm good with handguns, so I'm going to maintain this handgun.
All right, then I'm gonna go with an M4, 3 mags. Let's get that drone up, Dee Dee. Is there any heavy skill involved in that, Kyle? Should one guy be okay? So we don't have to worry about sparks. I want to get it over that central.
Okay, so a word on the skill system.
Break a window.
Basically, everyone can do just about everything, right? Anyone can drive a car. Anyone can fire a rifle. Anyone can try to punch someone in the head, and that sort of thing. The skill is to do the thing well and or quickly. If you have enough time, you can fix that broken down car engine of yours, because nowadays we've got YouTube instructional videos and all the rest. If you have enough time, the question is, how long is it going to take you, and how good a job are you going to do? You take it to the skilled mechanic, you would hope that he will do it well and quickly, right? So that's what the skill is. So where you have just because you don't have skill in flying drones, or your character has handgun skill and doesn't have assault rifle skill, doesn't mean you can't fly a drone or you can't fire an assault rifle. It's just a matter of how well or quickly you will do these things. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
So it's an inclusive rather than exclusive kind of thing.
All right. Let's get the drone up over the building. I want to see if we can have a look down. Is the wagon wheel shape in the middle of the floor plan, Kyle? Is that a skylit spiral?
That's stairs, but in this exercise, they've just got a roof over it. Okay, so it's just representing one floor, and the theory is that for whatever reason you can't go through the basement or through the
roof. No skylight up there then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's send our little micro drone in a quick perimeter.
Sorry, that actually is skylight. but you can also see that there's numerous windows.
Okay. All right, then let's get it over the skylight first and see if and see if they're bunched up in the middle, as I suspect they might be.
Yep.
All right, we launched the drone, Game Master.
Okay.
Is that through the window?
No, we're sending it over the top of the building to look down in the skylight, the central circuit area.
Make a drone roll to see how well and quickly you fly that drone.
Okay.
There's no doubt that you will see something if you look down. The question is how much you see.
All right. So, the die roller stopped spazzing out. That's a good thing. Okay, let me see here.
I'm gonna relieve myself. I'll be right back.
All right. And I'm looking at a 7, Kyle. Nice and average.
All right, you don't have any tactical observation or whatever, so okay. Roll a d6 as well.
All right. And I got a 6. That's either very good or very bad.
And you add your readiness?
My readiness is 2, so that's 8.
Okay. All right. So you beat him. So the drone peers down in there, and you see one hostage taker, one bank robber.
Okay.
Collar clivered up, and he raises a rifle to fire at the drone. And you instinctively just like hit the little lever to pull the drone out of the way. So the rest of you hear this gunshot from inside, and then breaking glass, and you hear the drone going as it pulls out of the way.
I just look at the rest of the team. That was at us. All right, now I'm going to take it on a perimeter tour. And see, because right now I'm interested in locating the hostages, and I only saw him under the skylight, right? Did not see hostages.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do I need another roll for the surveying the perimeter?
Yes.
Okay.
You've got to come up to each window, and you've got to get fairly close because of the bars and because of the sunlight on the glass outside.
All right. And is that per window or?
No, that would be too tedious. So just make a roll for the whole thing.
So that is an 8.
An 8. Okay. So you do a decent job. It takes you a while, but you don't get shot at again. All right. So you see, all right. So there seems to be one robber underneath that skylight area, and basically he seems to be watching the main entrance as far as you can gather. You presume that's what he's doing there. Now,
all right.
There are another 2 robbers in this southern section, all the officers, and there's about a dozen civilians in there.
Okay. So we weren't far off from where they actually are.
All right, so there's about a dozen civilians all on that southeastern corner, right?
All right. So we've got them sequestered there.
There is a 4th bank robber who is missing. You imagine he might be in the back in the vault.
Okay.
Unless he's just gone to the toilet or something. You don't know where he is. There also seems to be one civilian whom the bank robbers haven't found. She's hiding underneath her desk in there. She kind of looks at the drone when it comes by a window.
Okay.
They don't seem to be aware of her.
All right. If I see her notice the drone, I'm going to I'm going to bob it up and down a couple of times and then keep moving it. I just want her to know she's been seen.
Okay. All right. What's your plan, guys? What's next?
All right. If anyone didn't catch that, southeast of the skylight area in the 4-seat conference room. I'm pointing at my screen like you guys can see.
Yeah, I do the same thing too. I'm moving my mouse pointer over it like it's right here, guys.
But the hostages are grouped up, not exactly centrally, not under the skylight. They are a little to the southeast of it, around that heavy wall. There are 2 hostage takers there. There's 1 hostage taker to the south. There is 1 bad guy we don't see. He might be in the vault with manager. In the northwest corner, we have a civilian, probably an admin. She's hiding under a desk, not moving. Hopefully she'll stay put. At 209 thinks hostage sounds too much like hostile.
That could happen.
I think at this point, let's see. I mean, if we breach the front, they're going to have at least 8 to 10 seconds to react to us, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But the windows are barred over. We may not have much of a choice.
Well, as I said, the windows are 6 foot up, but the windows are 6 foot up inside as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that screws my idea.
Unless they're standing right next to them and looking at them, or unless they're listening very carefully and/or you're noisy, it may be possible to, like remove a fitting and then barge in. And
yeah, I was thinking of actually want to go up the side, go in the one window, get that 1 civilian out, and go in that way, because there's nobody over there.
You know what? Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. We can get her out. That way, if we have a B team that follows us up, she won't get zeroed. All right, everybody, let's stay low, and we're still gonna do the 2 teams.
Okay, so I'll tell you about these windows as well. They're only about 18 inches, 22 inches wide, and they're only about 24 inches high. They're not very big. So basically 1 person can fit through them at a time, and you have to do it like you could jump through them without injury, but being able to roll through and then come up ready to go is like a breakfall and an acrobatics kind of move.
Okay.
To just stumble through and then go clump on the other side, there's no problem. Anyone can do that. And it's all carpeted, so you won't be injured, but yeah.
All right, so here's how we're going to go. Like I said, we're going to go 2. We're going to meet around at the room I indicated on the map. Uncle Brat, you're gonna breach first and cover the hostage. Second in is gonna be Sapphire. Jason, you're gonna watch. I'm going in, and then I'm pulling I will pull, or rather, I will hand the hostage out to you, and
I'll come in after.
Yeah, you'll direct her to cover.
Okay.
So basically, all 4 of you are going in via that room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a small space.
Okay. All right, that's what we do. 2 of us, I guess. Uncle Brat, why don't you and I go counterclockwise, and Safi, you and Jason go clockwise, and we'll meet back at the office corner. Okay.
So the instructing sergeant says, "Okay, you might want this," and he hands you a little mini blowtorch.
Okay.
Handy.
All right.
And either that or these, he says, and has these big ass bolt cutters.
I look at Jason. Do you want the short brunette or the tall blonde?
I always like brunettes.
Hand you the blowtorch.
Or like a fiery redhead, but okay.
Well, Bennett's got the strength, so he could use the bolt cutter. He could probably do it by hand. He's the guy with the 1800 strength.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Might be a bit noisy, but the blowtorch should be quieter.
All right, let's roll.
Okay. All right. So you come up to the window, and all right. So again, there's no doubt that you can remove the bars. The question is how well and quickly you do it, and in this case, how noisily you do it. The blowtorch, Jason, is to cut through the iron security bars, which are on the outside of the window.
Yep.
So when you're looking at the map, if you look at the top left room, the second room along, there's a civilian in there that the bank robbers haven't noticed. She's just hiding under a desk. They're going in that way.
I'm back, and I hope I'm not scared.
Well, you just went to the bathroom, so you should be fine.
Maybe I have to go back.
Okay. Make your roll for the blowtorch.
Okay. That's right. We use the dice thing because it's all new.
Yes.
Yeah, and I still don't know how to use it. So
6.
6. Sorry. Did you do a 2d6 roll? I didn't see.
That was a 2d6. That was a
You did
5 and a 1.
5 and a 1, 6. Okay. So it takes you a while. Like, damn it, this metal is thicker than it looks, and you kind of semi-burn your fingers on it as you're doing it. Takes you a while, but you get through.
Okay.
You get through.
Where is it?
And then you come to the window, and you see it's one of those windows that just sort of opens up a little bit. It just slants out like that, and then there's a little chain or a rod on it that holds it there.
Okay. Well,
So in order to go further, you'll have to either remove the window or smash it.
We can't clip the chain so that it goes halfway, so we can squeeze through.
Yeah, I got the
You got
bolt
the bolt
cutter.
cutters or the blowtorch?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be easy enough to snip.
All right, make another roll.
Okay, I found it.
Cool.
Cock dice.
No, they unfortunately not.
7. Oh,
You got a 7 total, Kyle.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. Takes you a little while, but you cut through it. And again, you burn yourself on the metal. You're like, so you're figuring out how to use this blowtorch without burning yourselves.
the valve's like erratic like my internet.
All right, who's first through the window?
That is actually going to be Uncle Brad's character.
Okay.
And away I go. Ouch! Ouch! That hurts.
All right, you don't have any kind of athletics. You've just got.
How? He's a 6'4" pile of hamburger. He doesn't have any athletics.
Well, he's got all the brawling skills.
Okay.
He's hamburger.
He's
hamburger.
And
he's
got
not
his
graceful.
1911.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's
Boom,
not a graceful
boom.
man.
Tackle the floor, Uncle Brad. Just pretend like you're tackling the floor. That's a successful tumble roll. Ah!
All right.
Yeah, well, actually, all these people are coming in behind me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Not immediately. We're gonna wait for you to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was, anticipating. So it's like, okay, I'm moving.
Could you look at the
through
civilian
window
and then
I'm
shush them so they don't
rolling
scream?
left.
Yeah, and when you see the civilian, shush them.
So they don't scream and alert them.
So you easily haul yourself up. You easily haul yourself up to the window, and you look down, and you see a frightened-looking woman looking up from underneath the table, and she looks at you. Now, your natural presence is intimidating.
And I'm not going to shoot her.
Thank you. That's
rule
failing.
number 1.
Yeah. Failing the exercise this soon would be a bit of a letdown.
Again, hostage is too close to hostile.
All right. So you haul yourself through the window. Now, if you take extra time to do things, you get a bonus on your roll. So the problem is not getting through the window safely. The problem is getting through the window quietly and quickly.
Slow and stealthy.
Yeah. So if you take extra time, you get a bonus on your roll. If you take double the normal time, that's a +1. If you take quadruple the normal time, that's +2, and so on.
Well,
or you can just jump through.
It's like, was I not breaking through the window?
No,
we lifted it up. They cut.
No, we got it open.
We lifted it up.
Oh, that's.
I mean, you can break through it if you want, but it is open.
I'm gonna lift the sash and then I'm going to step through. Yeah, no, I'll take a +3 on that.
Okay, you take octuple the number time. So roll 2d6 +3.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I get a cup of coffee while he's doing this.
Well, you assume it's just because he's so damn big. he's just trying to squeeze through the damn thing.
So you got a 2 and a 3, but you're taking +3. That's 6. So
yeah, 2 and a 3, so that makes it 5 +3, which makes it 8. Yeah, so he gets through. It takes him ages, but he gets through.
Shut up!
You come through and you land on your hands on the other side, and then kind of flump to the floor, and you're glad that it's carpeted.
Okay.
Just like when you're doing your fighting, you're glad that there's a mat, because like being flung onto a marble floor would not be good for the health.
Yeah. Okay. Connect, you're next.
Actually,
yep.
This guy, being the strong guy he is, he could just lift the civilian out easy.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't.
I could throw the civilians out the window.
No.
Please don't.
Don't throw the civilian.
You could indeed lift her out.
Nobody tosses a dwarf.
Through the window.
So I'll go in next. I will take my time and cautiously to have the best success quietly.
Make the roll.
So how many am I doing? 2 or
2d6.
Civilians out the window.
So 2d6 +3.
Oh, I thought you said 3d6.
Wait, did you say 2 or 3, Kyle?
2d6 +3, yeah.
2d6 +3. So
as long as you want.
Well, the first 2 are actually, I think. What does it list? It lists
a 6, a 3, and a 3. So you got a 12 total.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. So Lena, she slips through the window quietly and quickly, like a ninja. Compared to Stu, who just kind of went plump.
Hey.
He tackled the
He's
floor.
He's like a cranberry out of the can.
He tackled the floor.
He did.
It's a very complex tactical entry maneuver, Kyle. Don't hate. All right. So I'm going
nowhere.
I'm going in next, and then myself and Uncle Brat are going to help the hostage out. I too am taking my time.
I'm going to go to the hostage, and I'm going to calm her down and say, shh,
okay.
We're going to get you out. We're here to help you.
We've noticed you so far.
Throwing you out the window.
I got a total of 8, Kyle.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. And then again, myself and Uncle Brat, we're going to assist her. And calming, easing her out the window down to Jason's character, and you will direct her, just, give her the knife hand towards police lines.
Yeah.
We assumed there are police lines.
Well,
yeah.
They called us in.
Yep. And then once done,
she's clear of the room, and there's now 3 of you there. Jason can follow.
Yep. Okay. Okay, just still go out in the alleyway, follow the smell of coffee and donuts. You'll find the cops. Go.
Can I assist him in his role for being quiet if I lean out and we
you can
lock.
give him a +1, and you can give him a foot down kind of thing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We'll do that. I'll give him the +1 to help him up.
Damn it! I can't smell any coffee or donuts.
Well, you're not looking for the cops, are you?
Oh, they're behind me. That's right.
So 6, are you taking extra time?
Yep.
Jason, are you taking extra time?
A little bit of extra time. Yeah, just a little bit. Not as much as Jelly Green Giant over here, but yeah.
So 8 or 9.
Well, Sullivan has got urban. He's got
no, I got arid.
Stealth.
I got arid stealth.
Yeah.
It's not.
How hot is it in here?
Found the min-maxer.
Had to try.
I cranked the thermostat up. Do I get my arid environment bonus?
That's too humid. Damn.
Alrighty. So all 4 of you are now in that room, clustered together.
Okay. We need to get a move on before the bad guys realize we're here. All right. I will say quietly to the team, let's cross out of here into the main. Okay, Kyle. So as I'm looking at this, there's a skylight area, and just north of it, planning seating area. Are there full walls or half walls around that planning seating area?
There's no walls at all. There's just
okay. All right, it's open. So
the smaller line. Remember, this is an electric diagram. So those the thinner lines are just wires where wires get laid out.
Okay, gotcha.
That's why you see, for example, there's you see, for example, there's an arc area. That's a reception area. So there's a line at right angles behind that. That's just power. That's got power and telephone lines that goes to that reception area.
Okay, so that's just like the power lining under the floor.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And so you can see the seating
or through the ceiling.
Over on the left.
Yeah.
And so these thinner walls here. Okay, so the thinner wall, like the wall between the room that you're in and the main kind of atrium area. These walls have got, they're like the old wood paneling, and then there's glass above them. So you have to be crouched down to not be seen. And when you peer up, you see one of the bank robbers, and he's just sitting on the edge of a couch, and he's watching intently down towards the entry lobby area.
And
good.
How far away is he?
If he's on the edge,
he'll be between 6 and 10 meters away.
I'm doing it again. I'm pointing at the screen. He's right there, Uncle Brett. You see where I'm pointing? He's right there.
Hey, remember, I've got urban stealth.
You do have urban stealth.
Do we have silencers on our weapons?
Probably not.
Oh,
you didn't ask for them, so no.
Silencers.
All right.
Had you asked for them, you would have them.
Silencers.
Paint Minis Live just paid for an ad for your game, Kyle. Thank you so much.
Wow.
With another super. Thank you so much. Bill T from Paint Minis Live says, for those of you watching, go check out Kyle's game. And it is great. It is great. I think he just bought a full body armor and plot survivability for your game, Kyle. Thank you so much. And normally I leave these up here until they wind down, Bill, but that would actually cover up Jason and a quarter of the map. But rest assured, it is appreciated. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is very, very helpful to the show, your support. Thank you so much.
Covering my faith is not necessarily a bad thing, but the map is more important.
Yeah, you have to remember, a silencer really doesn't silence a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, it's down from like 120 decibels from a pistol shot to like 90 decibels from a pistol shot.
Yeah, it's roughly about a decrease of about 10 to 15%.
Yeah, it's not it's not
it
a
doesn't silence the guy that you shoot.
yeah.
He can still go, ah!
Well, he'll be quiet enough eventually.
All right.
Yeah, he does eventually quiet down if you shoot that. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
What's the plan? How are you guys stacked up? There's 4 of you. You can't all 4 fit through the doorway at once.
Uncle Brat, let's
jump through the glass window.
Let's sneak.
He's facing away from us. Go out there and put him in a sleeper hold. Clamp hand over mouth and just hold him until he stops twitching.
That, or do I have a nice dagger I can slip?
You didn't ask for a blade, so you don't have one. No.
Well, that would make a lot more noise too.
You've got your M4, you've got your pistol, your assault rifle, and yourself, and your body armor and yourself. And
all right.
Of course.
Well, you have hold on. You have expertise in brawl. Why don't you just go sneak up behind him and just crack?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Subdue him with brawling.
Yeah, well, I can subdue him with the butt end of 1911.
Okay, so Stu is going to go first. Is he going to go out there by himself, or are you guys?
No, I'm gonna be about a meter. I'm going to be stacked up on him about 1.5 meters, and that's how our spacing should be.
No one wants to be near me when I'm doing this. Okay, and away we go.
Okay, now. Okay.
Also wondering if
Sullivan,
a couple of us should go back.
Jason, your character's got observation tactical. In other words,
yes, they do.
Like tactical sort of thing. So it will occur to you, since those guys are in the southeastern quadrant, there's at least 2 guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
They can freely move. They will be able to freely move through those doorways into directly south of you, and in other words, through that open doorway and the archway, and see you if you're coming out. So if they happen to be coming out like that. So it occurs to you that it might be a bit better, like if the 2 guys are going to deal with this one guy in the atrium area, it might be good that the other 2 are facing down towards where the other enemy might be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So me and Uncle Brat will go after Couch Guy. Jason, you and Safi cover south.
Okay.
Sounds like a
So
plan.
for reference, viewers, when I'm GMing, I assume if the player doesn't necessarily have the skill or it doesn't occur to them, the game master should sometimes step up and say, "Oh, because you have skill X or because your character class Y, you might think of so and so." Like in D&D, fighters can plan ambushes. Fighters can also watch out for ambushes, and so on and so forth. So, just to rather than being a bastard and like, well, you didn't think of it, There are other things like, you had ample opportunity to ask for whatever gear you wanted. You got into the building, you hadn't asked for silencers and knives and things like that. Yeah. So no, you don't have them. But it wouldn't make a huge difference anyway.
You were a much nicer GM than I am.
No, he's not. That's a lie. That is a lie.
He's a kinder.
I've played with both of them.
Well, this is a training scenario.
Oh, this is true.
Training scenario, right?
Oh, no.
The idea is to get you used to how
we're on easy mode right now.
We got paintballs we got paintballs to scrub out of our tacticals if things go completely south. So
yeah, after the tutorial is over, then it's permadeath time. So
yeah,
yay!
Why are you not playing Morkborg at this point?
Okay.
All right, so we should.
So you're basically trying to achieve surprise. This could be done we can do it in one of 2 ways in the rules. One is just to make a stealth check, or add your stealth ability to the normal surprise. you guys don't. Stu has got stealth urban, right? So he will get a +1. I'd rather roll it together in as few dice rolls as possible. So we'll just take his stealth urban and add that to surprise. So surprise is your readiness, a d6 plus your readiness, plus any other modifiers, which in this case is your stealth. Okay, so the throw is modified by the attacker's stealth and the victim's observation expertises. If the victim is making a deliberate effort to watch for danger, they move at half rate but get +1 against surprise. But you can't watch for danger all day. You know what I mean? You can't go, oh yeah, I'm on a 24-hour watch and I'm just going to sit there looking around the whole time.
Yeah.
It's more for a sort of a momentary thing. But yeah, so it'll be his readiness plus your. So you'll get a +2. A +2. So a D6 +2 is what you want to roll.
All right. Roll it up, Uncle Brett.
Oh, God. I know we're all gonna die.
Nah, I got a good feeling about this, man. I just wish I could get it.
Weapon is out, by the way.
I wish I could get it to roll all over the screen. So 4.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's not awful.
What's that? Why is it giving me 2 dice? I didn't ask for
I don't know.
I have no idea.
You got a 5 on the first
yeah.
one.
Okay.
That was
We'll take that.
So you got a 4, he got a 5. All right. So you do not achieve surprise. You're creeping up behind him, and he turns around. He has 1 action. The difference between the surprise rolls is how many actions. So his action is simply to stand up with his weapon in his hand. That takes
and
one of
I
his
will
actions.
shoot him.
Well, now you have to draw your weapon because you were going over there to choke him out. So now you have to draw your weapon. So that's
Well, I
so
thought
that'll
I
be
had
next
my
round.
weapon drawn.
I have my rifle.
You can't choke him out with a pistol in your hand. That doesn't work.
I have my rifle up, Kyle.
Yeah,
So-
I think.
Well,
we
now
should
it's
shoot with a
initiative.
rifle.
So you guys
Oh.
failed to achieve surprise. So now it's ordinary initiative.
All right.
Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot
Now.
him! Dead!
All
Dead!
right.
Dead!
I think he wants you to shoot him. I just get
So
a feeling.
much for hostages.
Hey, it can
We got
still.
one out. We got one out.
All right. So this time, obviously, stealth and that doesn't matter. It's just D6 plus your readiness, which is 1, and his readiness, which is 1. So it's essentially D6 versus D6.
All right. Let me hang on. D6.
I get 5.
Come on, dice. Be good to me. It's a tie.
Now, do you have your pit? Oh, so you got your rifle out. Okay. So that's
Yes, I have my rifle out. And I was absolutely aiming it at him.
I also had my rifle out, but I'm going towards the 2 that could possibly come up.
Uh-oh. Kyle dropped. So while he's away, Paint Minis Live, I jokingly said, I bet you don't have the guts to do that again. And he did. So thank you again. PML says, I have guts. I paint a ton of guts for the Death Guard minis I did live over my channel. On another note, thanks for reminding me to lose a couple of pounds. No problem. Get your hair cut. Shave. My God, if that's what that's going to buy me. So thank you again, PML. Thank you so much. I mean, you're absolutely helping keep the lights on. Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. Well, in let's see, it's September now, so it's October. So November when YouTube gives me $30 of each of the 50s and 70 of the 100. Thank you. And that's not a patch on you. That's YouTube's nonsense, but I really appreciate it. By the way, audience, if you're not subscribed to Paint Minis Live, go do it now. Right now, go subscribe to Paint Minis Live's channel. He's YouTube, Paint Minis Live.
Jason there,
Yep.
you gonna share?
The fact that you put me in touch with him and boasted about my music prowess and had me write him a little 30-second bit to intro his channel with.
There you go.
Because board games are behind me. The role-playing games are over there. The other expensive hobby of like a stack of synthesizers is right here. So I am terminally broke.
Uncle Brett, thank you so much. Thank you, Uncle Brett, for the halibut. That's a delicious fish, but it's also just for the halibut. I love it. Thank you all. I can misbehave on live streams for the next couple of 2 or 3 weeks. Thank you all so very, very much. I may close out the show by ball walking across my monitors. No, I'm not going to do that. There's misbehaving on stream, and then wasn't there a channel on YouTube called the Delver's Dungeon? I don't know. It doesn't exist anymore.
No,
Steph, did you just snort?
I did.
I did. Okay, everybody playing at home, every time she snorts, have a drink.
Don't do that. You'll die of liver failure.
Yeah.
It's drinking, worse. We had the.
I'm using daiquiris, for God's sake.
We had the Rob Zombie drinking game. Every time he went, yeah, I'll take a shot. You'd hit the floor.
So while you were gone, we did some intimidate rolls, and the hostage takers surrendered. I had the rule book here. My game mastering and instincts took over, and I said, "Let's end this peaceably, guys." So, I've never seen so many 12s rolled, Kyle. It was incredible. So, thank you for a wonderful game.
All right. So you come up to the guy. He has initiative, but he's just drawn his weapon. He wins initiative, and he shoots at the guy right in front of him. Okay. He has a long arm. He has a long arm. So he goes blam. And he goes blam, and he needs 10 plus. With his skill of +1. And he gets 11 with his skill. 12. Okay. Now the damage roll is a d6. So it's using it like a percentile kind of thing, but with damage. So looking at my chart, so like 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, blah blah blah. That's head, and then 2's a torso, and so on. So I roll, and it becomes a 6-3. So you get a minor wound in your left leg, Stu.
That's for me.
Yep, that's for you, Uncle Brett, your character.
That's just a flesh wound.
2 points of damage.
'Tis but a scratch.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember.
So that's it gives you a -1 to everything you're doing. So a -2 to everything you're doing. So a -2 to your movement, and a -2 to other things because of like pain. I mean, you're not actually wounded because it's just training, but yeah.
Oh,
that's the
yes, I'm wounded. I can't do that stuff now.
All right.
Damn it.
Alrighty, so now it's your guys' turn.
I'm going to give first quarter to Uncle Brat, since he is directly. He's in front of and to my right. You're closer to him. Introduce him to Mabel, Uncle Brat.
Well, Uncle Brat loses his action because he just got wounded. So he loses one action, and he only has one action in a round. He's spending his round going, "Ow!"
I look at the guy playing the hostage taker.
even though Uncle Brett was attacking with his 1911.
Yeah, but you're hurt because you're shot. I just look at the guy and I say, God made men, and just kind of heft the rifle. Since we're in a training exercise, Samuel Colt made him equal. Blap.
Well, I'm gonna make him equal.
So
I'm gonna make him less than equal.
I have small arms. Okay, no, I have fire handgun. That's different. So that's just a straight 7, right, Kyle?
Yep.
Okay. So 7.
And you miss him. What's your second action? Are you going to shoot again?
Yeah, I'm gonna double tap because you always double tap. Blap blap. How about a 9?
You still miss. You need 10 plus.
Hold still, you asshole.
That's what I said.
Ooh.
That's what I said.
Tap tap.
Okay.
Kill them all.
I just look at him like, dude.
All right. Now that things have got noisy, guys.
Yeah.
The other 2 are coming up. I had my
You
weapon
hear,
out even before we got there, so
screams-
I'm waiting for
You
them.
hear screams of the civilians, and you hear lots of movement going around in that back room. But of course, they won't be out in this round. It's going to take a couple of rounds for them to get moving through all that furniture and people and all the rest.
So they're not going to come out yet.
Well,
So
you wouldn't
obviously we
expect them
just
to
need to
come out
watch
this
for the unknown
So
4th guy.
you're gonna
But
keep-
yeah.
Yeah, you're going to keep watching to the south there.
All right.
Are you going to stay in the room that you originally entered in? You've got some cover from view there. It's not cover from fire, but it's cover from view because of the lower half is wooden.
Well, can I see where they're going to come out though, from where I'm at?
Yes. So if you look at
Okay, I'll
if
stay
you
there
look
then.
down south on the map, you see that door.
I'll
that
stay there
opens
and
up in the middle.
wait for them to pop out, unless I see one of my.
It's actually a coffee area. They'd be coming out through the coffee area.
All right.
Oh, shoot up the coffee area. Get them really ticked off.
I'm gonna look at the guy playing the bank robber and just say, dude, I'll buy you a Coke and some peanut M&Ms if you surrender. Seriously.
All right.
We
Next
can
round.
do double espresso.
Next round initiative. D6.
I got it up right here. Unless somebody else wanted to.
Was Jason going to do anything?
Is this group initiative or
Yes.
just okay?
It is, and I blew it. Somebody stop me before I do that again.
Bill, you
right.
killed us.
Hey, it's 1. We go first.
Alrighty. So the bandito opens up.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
He goes for 1 and 2, so he gets a stoppage. So he goes bang, or one shot goes and it doesn't hit anything, and then his weapon's jabbed. He's going, damn it! So he pops the magazine. You can see he's going to pop the magazine and have another.
All right.
Bang and nothing.
And obviously changing the magazine is an action.
Now shoot him, Uncle Brett.
So he won't be shooting.
God
shooting
bless it. Yes. Bang, bang. Double tap to the head.
There you go.
What did you get? What'd your dice roll?
Oh, he hasn't rolled yet. He's saying that's what he's going to try.
Got
Okay.
2d6.
2d6. Got a 4 and a 1. That's 5 plus your handgun is 6.
Your handgun is 6 minus 2 because you were wounded. So yeah, that's a miss.
What?
All right. Black 10. That's not.
Shoot Kyle.
That is a 10, Kyle. That's not a miss.
Okay. Roll d6 for hit location and wound severity.
All right. A 3 and a 5. 3 and 5.
3 and 5. Okay. Now he's wearing body armor. However, the body armor does not cover his right arm. So there's we've got 3 columns on the wounding matrix. There's no armor versus fragmentation, which includes shotguns, and versus regular firearms. Were it on his trunk, then there'd be a chance that we'd have to use the armor versus firearms one, but it's on his arm where he has no body armor at all. So it was 3 and 5, wasn't it? Yeah. So that's a minor wound.
Okay.
That's a minor wound. He's got -2. So he'll lose his action next round as well. So not only was he having to spend a round reloading, he also has to do that another one. So it's at least another 2 rounds before he can be effective.
So, Sissy, make your first shot on Kyle, and then make your next shot go on that next opponent.
You mean Kyle's NPC, right?
I have another action.
Because he's in Australia. You need a pretty decent range to get there.
No, it's an orbital shot.
That's another hit, Kyle. That's a 12.
12. Okay.
The orbital strike platform
Location?
is looking for your house right now.
Yes.
Hit location.
6 and 5.
5. Okay, you hit him in the left leg, minor wound. That's all.
Flat.
Moment, of course. Alrighty. Next combat round. We don't.
While this is going on, because I haven't done anything yet.
Yep. You and Sissy are just sitting back watching and waiting for the other guys to come through the doorway.
Through the coffee
Or
shop.
you can go and find them if you want.
Yeah, shoot 'em
I was
all.
thinking about like heading down there a little bit, but also checking that one door by the south to make sure no one else is coming through it.
Yep.
Because we made a lot of noise.
You've been watching.
Yep.
There's that whole.
They're all
southern
down
area.
there.
Yeah.
Shoot them all. Let God sort them out.
No, don't let God sort them out.
I
You sort them first.
I actually kind of want to run down there a little bit before going to the coffee clutch area.
Well, the vault is actually to the left. So this
Okay.
unknown 4th bandit may be in the vault. He may be to your immediate right.
All right. You want to wait for the coffee shop and I'll go look for the guy in the vault?
Yeah, I'll wait for the coffee shop. We know there's 2 of them though, so I don't know if I can handle both, but
Yay, separate the party.
I'll do my best.
Well, you'll find out soon.
I will assault rifle up, checking those corners, as Apone once said. And
Plus side is no one's going to creep up on us from
Yeah.
behind at least.
so I'm looking for that. I'm looking
He
for the 4th
didn't
man.
live long, did he?
Okay. Okay, Bill, what are you going to be doing?
I am going to, first of all, I'm going to look at this guy and say, baking soda to get the paint out of your ASUs.
uniform.
And
This is a statement of intent. You have to decide what you do.
I know. I am. So he's still up and functional, right?
Yeah, barely. I mean, he's been shot in one arm and shot in one
I
leg.
am
You
going.
think he's
I'm
probably
going
going to fall
to.
down next round. They're only
I'm
minor
going to-
wounds, but still.
I'm going to continue to service the target until the target is no longer a threat.
Fair enough.
Bang,
And
bang.
you, Stu, what are you going to do? Mr. Bennett, aka Uncle Brett?
Hey, Bennett.
Shoot.
Shoot, right. All right, you only get one action, though. You just got readiness 1. All right. Roll for initiative.
I'm not doing that.
All right, hold on. Let me try it.
All right, my guy's got -2
And?
initiative because he got wounded. and +1 for his readiness, so that becomes a 3. And you got 2. All right. So my guy goes first. My guy just puts his hands up and then drops his weapons, puts his hands up and drops to his knees. This.
All right. I'll
still shoot him.
Okay, I rolled a 4 right when Google decided to have a brain fart. So it was a 4 that I rolled.
Can I amend my action, Kyle, or am I pretty much dedicated to shooting a man on his knees with his hands up in front of me?
You can always cancel your action, but then you're just doing nothing. You can only replace it with dropping prone.
No.
Or just standing and watching.
I'm
bang.
Okay. Well, I can't intervene here, but I'm not going to shoot him. So head on a swift one.
Make a roll. Make your roll, Mr. Brett.
Well,
2d6.
obviously Uncle Brat would. Okay, he won't shoot.
All right, so we're.
But he's going to have 1911 trained.
Yeah, naturally, yeah. You guys are going to have cable ties and stuff to tie these guys up. Bill T of Paint Minis Live asked, "Hey, Kyle, is there a last stand mechanic for PCs before they go down?" No. But speaking is always a free action, like giving full instructions. You go here, you go there, blah, blah, is not a free action. But just wisecracks and one-liners and all that are always free actions. So you can always spit in the eye as you go down. But, I don't think you even have to roll a hit to spit in the eye when you're dying. You automatically hit. But otherwise, yeah, if you're dying, you're dying. You go down.
What is the
But
range
it's
for
rare
spit?
that it's rare that your character dies instantly. When you get a mortal wound, what it actually means is you're going to die in 2d6 plus your health minutes, unless you are unless somebody stabilizes you and stops you bleeding.
Right.
I think the game master would have to use their intelligence. Like if somebody gets 3 mortal wounds in their head in one combat round, I think we could just hand wave it and not worry about the medical treatment afterwards. But if you really want to roll for each of those 3 different wounds and treat them separately and all the rest, you can. But I would just say no.
I want Dr. Frankenstein to help me.
Yeah. You need to find a new brain.
That's Frankenstein.
9.
Okay, so we have.
Which one is down? All right, and we've got Jason's character. You've snuck forward to the
Looking for that 4th guy.
Yeah,
So we
the
don't
doorway
sneak up
there.
on us.
Well, Ellen keeps watching down here. So
Correct.
you sneak up to that doorway. The doorway opens to the left. At the moment, it's ajar.
I thought it was a door.
If it was all quiet, you think you would probably hear people moving around in there. But as it is, with all the gunfire and
Can't
the
really hear.
shooting civilians, you're not hearing them. Now, if you jump in there, then you might hear something or see something. But at the moment, no.
Just remember, the door is ajar.
So I can't hear anything moving in there. All right, I'm gonna have to
You
crack.
can't hear it over all the other noises.
All right, I'm gonna have to crack that door open a little bit and take a peek.
Remember, you've
No, you have to
you've got
screw
3
it down.
flashbangs as well, guys.
I'm sorry, what?
We have
Remember, you've got
flashbangs.
You've got 3 flashbangs each.
I know. I just don't want to waste it on somebody who's not there.
Well, you got 3. I mean,
Yeah, dude. I mean, Doc,
All right,
Yeah,
how many rooms?
Don't
do you
risk
got?
it.
that's a good
you can
point.
use the one.
All right, I cracked the door and just.
Jason, are you one of those players who, like, when you're playing the first-person shooter game, you fire 2 shots and then you reload your weapon?
That's
I
me.
can
Actually.
neither confirm nor deny.
Like
Well-
if I'm playing Half-Life 2 and I'm full up on pistol ammo and I've just and I've dropped a combine guard, I will rip off a couple of shots just so I can pick up his gun.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's
But
not
yeah.
healthy.
Yeah. All right, but I'll crack the door a bit and just chuck a flashbang in.
Okay. Make your throw.
Remember, we all have flashbangs.
This is
Yeah.
true.
Okay, make your throw. Basically, you just don't want a stoppage. In other words, a critical failure, lest it,
Ooh,
bounce back.
nice.
12. That's not a critical failure.
It goes exactly where you want it to. And then it goes.
That is an 11.
I'm sorry, it was an 11.
Okay.
It flashes and it bangs.
All right. So make 2 rolls.
Okay.
Always nice when the flashbang doesn't bound back to you.
2d6? Both 2d6? Or
Yeah. Well, it's a
1d6?
D6. So tell me.
Okay.
Tell me the
All
rolls.
right. All right. First one is 3. Second one is 3. 33.
3. Okay. All right. You hear a rather loud thump and a clang, a clatter, like metal falling on the floor, and it's a body and metal falling on the floor.
Woohoo!
And you recall that in general, if you throw a flashbang in an enclosed area, it has an amplified effect. So basically, the way the flashbang works like a blunt weapon that always attacks the head. And so if you get the appropriate wound, then you're stunned for a bit. When you get a blunt wound on the head, when it says mortal, that's actually just treated as stunning them or whatever. But sorry, it's a bit. If there's a second mortal wound, they immediately go unconscious. They don't even get a roll to remain conscious. This guy took 2 mortal wounds, stun wounds to his head, because while you're using your paintballs or your lasers or whatever, you're using real flashbangs.
Oh no!
So this guy is very concussed.
All right. I go in, I kick away I'm sure he's unconscious, right?
No,
That's like
he's dead.
I grab a piece of paper, write a note on there, I'll buy you a beer later. Just stick it on his chest. Sorry, man.
Particularly, this is the vault area, so it's all metal walls. So
Oh.
So it was
real
echoing
good.
everything.
Yeah.
See, I knew that with my tactics familiarity, but oh yeah, that's right. This is training. My bad.
Yeah.
But hey, we don't have to worry about him now. It's like,
Not anymore.
I'll get you a beer later. Sorry, man. And just leave it on his chest. Yeah. So yeah, that's my turn.
So Jason's character is now just around that door. Alan or Safi's character is there, and then the other 2 are in the middle.
Kyle,
there will be another 2 bandits in there amongst us.
Does this dude in front of me? He got zip ties, zip cuffs.
Yep. You zipped him up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look at Bill, and I'm gonna point to where the guys are gonna come, and I'll say, "Can we do a flashbang to them too?"
Civilians.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Civilians are the reason that flashbangs were invented.
Yeah.
They make you feel awful, and you will need medical treatment, but
they'll survive it.
Unless you're a 95-year-old lady on a walking frame or something, they're not going to.
Yeah. All right.
Or you're stuck in a vault.
Let's roll on them with some fireworks then. All right.
Okay. A pretty narrow doorway. It's just a regular doorway down to the south there. Remember, there's also the stairway down on the other side, on the eastern side of the building there. See, so you've got that section,
I mean, Bill, you're closer than I am. So
Right. So you've got zoom in, and I'll show you. All right. So you've got two of you over here. There's two of you over here. Right. There's the coffee area here in the middle, and then there's one entryway there. Entryway to where all the hostages are, and there's another entryway there as well. So how do you wish to approach this?
I'm going to move around to the right because they heard the flashbang go off towards the rear. I will move around to the front and lob a flashbang into their midst if I see them.
Because you can just do it like around the edge of the archway kind of thing. Just lob it in there.
I will look left and see if there are targets. If there is a target, yep, flashbang goes there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll bounce a flashbang in there, Kyle, once I get a peek around.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they know you're coming, but they don't know the exact instant you're coming. So this is a surprise check as well. So yeah, just roll and add the readiness of the readiness +1. So it's the lowest readiness in this case.
All right, and it's a single D6. So
You do it, Bill.
oh, damn it!
No, you don't do it, Bill.
I have
So
bamboozled.
you poke your head around the corner, and you are surprised to find that there's two guys with long arms, both standing there, pointing the long arms directly at you.
Ah!
Your head.
And you just freeze in that moment. So, so
I just raised my paintball safety goggles up.
Warren Brown.
that's not what you're
Brown.
supposed to
Glad I
do.
wasn't looking in that direction.
Just remember, club soda.
Warren, all right, so Warren Brown and Uncle Brett, Stu, yeah, you're both poking your heads around and going, oh, all right. So they've got
but
three
we're looking in different directions.
actions. They got 3 actions.
All right,
to try to shoot you.
Yeah,
That's
if
the
I
one. No. Oh no, that will hit. So there's one hit.
Oh, for God's sake.
All right, and that'll be a miss. And
That's
that'll
it.
be a hit. Because one of them has readiness 2, the other one has readiness 1.
See, Jason, I said that we were all going to die.
You're not dead yet. All right. So Bill has been hit once, and Uncle Brett has been hit once. So the hit locations.
Oh, not again.
All right. So Bill's been hit 3, 4. His right arm, it's a minor wound, so you got a -2.
Ow.
Yeah, well, Uncle Brett, you're a bigger character, so naturally you're a bigger target.
6-1.
You picked
He
the
gets hit in the left.
6-4 game.
I'm going
gets
to
hit in
be
the left.
Mickey Mouse from now
6-1.
on.
He gets hit in the left leg with a mortal wound.
What? Well, thank you very much, Bill.
Uncle, it's kind of karma. I mean, come on.
Kyle has just killed me.
I just hold my arm. I'm like, damn it! You put those things in the freezer last night.
Kyle, you have.
Uncle
Shoot Kyle.
Louie, and
Shoot
Dewey.
Kyle.
All right, so combat.
All
You
right.
know
see,
what's
would
going to
we-
happen during Call
I
of
could-
Cthulhu, don't
All right.
you?
All right.
If I come out of the vault after securing that guy and leaving him my note, do I see the other 2 guys?
Yeah, you know what they're doing. You know what they're doing. I assume that you're with Alan on the edge of the coffee area.
Okay, so we know there's 4 of them. We've subdued 2 of them. So I'm thinking we should just run through the coffee area back from the back way and come up and around behind the 2 guys while they're firing at Bill, or try to
Yep.
at least.
And after the surprise round, you can roll for initiative and attempt to do that.
Or
Now,
how
I did-
about going straight through?
Okay.
to the
I did have
western
readiness,
doors?
So somebody who is mortally wounded has to roll 10 or more, 2d6 plus their health. Okay.
Oh.
Fortunately, you've got 3 health. So 2d6 plus 3.
Thanks a lot. Let's see what we can do here.
Now, Kyle, with my readiness 2, I know I lose an action for being shot, but is that all actions for being shot?
No, just one of your actions.
Okay. Hey, he's
So
still up.
You're
That's
still up.
8 plus 2. So that's
You've been
10.
shot in the balls, but you're all right.
Hey,
You got
You're still
2.
up.
Don't
You
worry
will
about
bleed. Untreated, you will bleed
Whoops.
out and die. But at
I
the moment, you're still up.
will.
Oh,
No,
already
we
done.
lost Kyle.
There you go.
Kyle has been off-interneted off and on tonight. So we're probably after this. Now, oh, no, he's back. I almost started rambling again. All right, Kyle, you back?
All right. I ran a game where somebody shot a guy who had a sword, and she shot him in the head and caused a mortal wound, and he stayed up, and then he came and attacked her with his sword. She was rather surprised, rather startled at this. Like, what? But I shot him in the head with a 5.56. Oh.
That's okay. I'm about to shoot Kyle.
I like how personally Uncle Brett takes this. It's great.
Yeah. He doesn't hold a grudge, not at all.
No. I'm sweet, innocent, and naive.
All right.
Smell that, folks? That's sarcasm.
Okay, so that's the surprise round done. The failed surprise. Now, initiative.
Oh, that was the surprise round.
That was a surprise
Yeah.
round. So
Do I get to do anything?
No, because you were surprised as well. It's just that nobody was shooting at you or anything. The whole team
I'm
was
going to
surprised.
shoot. I'm going to
Okay.
shoot.
Because you were sneaking around, and then you're sneaking around, and you were expecting to hear, everyone get down, and like a flashbang going off and stuff. But instead, you just heard blat, blat, blat.
So, Sissy, actually, you are now in the lead.
So I will. I'm just going to try and zero one of these guys, Kyle. That's my action. Hey, Uncle Brat, you're still up. Get your revenge, man.
Yeah, and what are the other 2 guys going to do?
I was still going to continue running down while they're all occupied, running down south through that coffee area, back up to where the hostages were, and see if I
I'll
can.
go back behind him to try to
Okay.
See
pin
there.
him in between
So,
crossfire.
so Safi, you've got readiness 2, so you can do 2 things. You can run and shoot. Jason, you've just got readiness 1.
That's one.
Oh, I will do that
One
then.
of those things. You
Yeah.
can run in, and then you'll be able to shoot in the next round.
Okay.
Kyle, should I try to administer first aid to myself, or am I unable to do that?
Yeah, you can administer first aid to yourself, but it's not necessary in a scenario like this because, you're going to last at least 5 minutes, right? Because the mortal wound will kill you in 2d6 minutes plus your health, and you've got
Right.
3 health, so you'll last at least 5 minutes no matter what happens. And in
And
5
this will
minutes,
probably
this
be
is all going to
done
be
in
done.
5 minutes. Yeah.
yeah.
Combat will be over within 5 minutes.
It's kill them all. It's bang, bang, bang time.
There you
Matter
go.
of fact, I'm gonna get all my magazines into my left hand, and it's just gonna be bang, 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 bang. Eject.
That drop.
Yeah, I
Slam.
assume you mean the 2 guys in balaclavas. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, heck, no, I'll kill them all.
No.
What do I care?
I just love your sense of
you care
restraint.
about
Really,
you care about the evaluation after the
Yeah, it's you care about us all having to do this again.
Okay, I'll be a nice
'Cause you
guy
do it until
and
you
just
get it
shoot
right.
the guys with the balaclavas.
I don't think Sappy's rolled initiative yet. Can you save our bacon tonight?
Roll
Yeah.
initiative. That-
I hope they
All right.
don't take their balaclavas
Here we go,
off.
rolling an ish.
See if she's got a hot hand. 3 plus
3.
her readiness, right?
Yep. So
3
so,
plus 2.
It's simultaneous. Simultaneous loving or fighting, whichever one.
Okay, so
right,
bang, 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 bang.
All right, go ahead and empty your magazine on this guy. Mag dump on a chump.
45.
He's going with the sprain and praying technique.
Oh no, I'm
That's
not
a miss.
praying. It's just spray.
All right.
All right, my guys miss.
Okay. I am taking a shot. I think that's a hit, Kyle.
Wow.
Nice.
maybe.
That is 1, 3.
1, 3. Okay, so that's the head. A mortal wound in the head. Blink.
Pah! Just right between the eyes, just all over his goggles.
Alrighty. And he would. I can't see because of the
8. It's an 8.
The
There's the
little things
blood
over the
splatter.
eye. Yeah. So he would go down like a sack of spuds. All right,
Sucks
so
to be
that's one
you.
down, and then
Spuds, not potatoes. Spuds.
Sappy adjacent, or Sappy, you come up behind him and you can shoot.
Yep. I'm moving and shooting.
But it's
Those are my two
50.
moves.
It's simultaneous, so it's 50-50 which one you'll go
Splatter,
for. So do you
splatter.
go for the one that got shot or one that didn't? So roll a d6. If you get 1 to 3, you go for the one who was shot. If you get 4 to 6, yep. So you go for the one who got shot.
Oh,
But you still have
That's
to
what it
roll
is.
to hit because you might get a stoppage, and then have to spend some time.
Oop, I have
reloading.
to, okay, that was 1. I
That's a
should have done the
1?
second one. There we go. So
3.
I probably missed.
Yeah, so that's it'll definitely be a miss. But your weapon's in new condition, so it fails on a 3 or less. So you get a stoppage. You go, you shoot at the guy as he's just falling down, and you get a stoppage.
her CO2 cartridge goes flying
Son of a-
across the room.
So you've got to spend one of your actions next round reloading, and then
Your
you
gun just stops because, like,
second
the
one.
guy's already shot. What are you doing?
Your
Click.
gun
Well, at
has
least I have 2
moral
actions, so
judgment.
I can clear it and shoot the other guy.
Yeah, but one of your actions was running down there.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean the next round though.
Yeah. Yeah, you can clear it and shoot it. You don't have to make a roll to clear it or anything like that.
Jason, please
Okay.
please kill the
And
remaining
so
guy. please.
Jason, you've just run down. You come in and you see one of the guys has gone down. You see that there's an angry Uncle Brat and everything, and he's blazing away, and Bill's blazing
Right.
away.
Thump, 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 thump.
But yeah, you've just run in. So next round,
Okay.
initiative once more.
Oh yeah, I'm. It's,
I can get a shot.
I got 5 for initiative.
No, you
Yeah,
got
but-
your shot. You missed.
Yeah, you got your shot and missed.
Oh, I didn't even
4. So with my readiness 5, so it's simultaneous again, unless this guy's got a readiness of 1.
Yeah, he's got a readiness of 1. They always
Okay.
hit him. Except for one, the one with readiness of 2 is the one that you shot in the head.
Woohoo!
So
I
just that
glance
one.
over at him. Does that sting? Because you're going to have a donut bruise on your forehead tomorrow.
splatter them.
All right.
Wah.
All right, so you Yep, so you go first. What's everyone doing? I assume everyone's unloading on this poor bastard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm clearing
I
and
haven't
shooting.
shot anybody
7.
yet.
So
There's, like,
that's a miss.
Well,
Let's do
let
one
Jason
flashback.
have a go.
I haven't shot anybody.
All right.
Granted, I knocked somebody out.
You fragged somebody.
No, I want to shoot these assholes.
Let Jason shoot. We've shot at plenty of people. Jason, shoot him.
All right, I'm going to shoot him.
Okay.
Bang, bang.
I have assault rifle familiarity, so that's +1, if I'm
Yep.
reading this correctly.
Yep.
And +1 modifier.
There you go.
I think that does it.
Yep. Roll d6 for your hit location and severity.
3, 6, 9, 10. Here we go.
Yeah. Now roll a d6 and then another d6.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Michael,
do it one
we
at
will
a
be
time.
playing Call of Cthulhu this Halloween. And that's in just a few weeks, by the way, guys.
Oh, God. Where is it all going?
The first D6 determines where, and the second D6 determines the severity.
The severity, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Jason, you with us, bro?
Jason.
Jason, he froze.
Yeah, he's in the
Jason.
there.
Oh,
2
and another.
and 3.
3.
Okay.
2, 3. Finally, the body armor is useful. So had he not been armored, that would have been a mortal wound. But because he's armored, it becomes a minor wound. But he's still going to lose his action next round. Shot. Okay. Who else is shooting him?
I
I think
am.
all of us.
All right, Safi. So you clear the
Uncle Brad
stoppage and then
wants
you
to
have
shoot
a
him.
second shot.
No, let Seffi take
Okay,
her
so I'm
shot.
reloading once,
Yep.
my first action, but then I can shoot the second.
Yes, correct.
And that is
Shot
10 plus 2.
2. Yep. Bang.
So here's the location is 3,
Yep. that's on
and the
his right arm.
severity is 1.
1. Oh, it's a severe wound on his right arm. You just about take it off.
Score!
Just about.
If he's
Oh, come
right-handed, he
on.
can't fire from it, maybe.
If you'd have moved just a little bit over, he could have taken the whole thing off.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Well, I can't
Uncle
always
Brett.
be Luke Skywalker.
True. True.
Uncle Brett. or
Finish him
Bill,
off. Let's wrap up the exercise, Uncle Brett.
Oh,
6. Oh, I'm feeling good about it.
Five.
Boom!
Hit him. Okay. Roll for your hit location and severity. D6, D6.
That's
another D6 or 2 D6s?
what 1d6 and then another d6 after that.
Yep. 3. So on his
3.
right arm, once again.
And a 1.
And 1. Another severe wound on his right arm. You plinged him in the... So Safi plinged him from the back. You plinged him from the front.
Is
in
it
the same
still attached, or is it just kind of hanging there by a couple strings?
Well, neither, because it's just an exercise. But yeah, it would be pretty nasty for him if it were real round.
Here's
Okay, and Bill?
I'm sorry? Do what,
Oh,
Kyle?
I think we might have lost a sound.
Kyle?
Kyle, you there? Nope.
He'll be back in a second. I think I don't know what happened to poor Jason, but
Yeah, it looks like Jason died too.
Yeah, he deals with internet issues all the time.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully not too severe. But yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I think we won the exercise. I mean, a couple severely wounded. Wounded
Hey!
troopers. One severely wounded.
Yeah, thanks a lot here, buddy.
What are you complaining at? He's the one that shot you. Don't bitch at me. And I just hope you were wearing a cup. Those paintballs can hurt.
I died. It's
No, you're not.
mortal.
You're still
Not
up.
yet. We
You-
would get you
you're-
medical care.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
Suck it up,
was
Buttercup.
mortal wounds. Kyle said mortal
he
wounds.
said if you don't get treatment, so we're just finishing this guy off, and
yeah,
you know,
This is training.
yeah,
This is
you're
teaching
right.
you what you're
You
not supposed to
finished.
do.
You finished me off.
I had nothing to do with it. It was the dice.
I'll be right back.
We'll be right here. Death is easy. Comedy is hard. Wave mutilation, sure words never spoken. All right. There you are. Oh, there you are, Kyle.
Alrighty. So yeah, he goes down.
So he's down.
Out.
Yes.
Yeah, he's out.
All right.
So- All right, and you shuffle the civilians out of the building.
Okay. The first thing we do is we get Uncle Brat treatment. I don't know if he's back yet.
Treatment for his wounded ego.
Yeah.
Learn to duck and weave. That's all I'm going to say.
Alrighty. All right. So you come out to you lead out the civilians, and you uncuff the pretend bandits and that, and you come out to the instructing staff, and the instructing staff says, "Okay, gather around, debrief. What do you think you could have done better? What went right? What went wrong?"
I feel our entry and isolation of a lone tango was solid. I think we probably should have used more cover and pinchered the remaining two tangos in the hostage area with more authority. I think better bounding cover and quicker action on that, and I think we would have had less casualties in our team. But I honestly, our recon, our entry, our rescuing the first hostage, our zeroing the lone tango, those were all flawless. So I guess if I was going to grade us, I'd give us a B, sir.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Brat, what do you think?
I think he's indisposed right now.
Oh, okay. Safi, what did you do right? What did you do wrong? What do you think?
I agree with the assessment. I mean, other than maybe we work on targeting and accuracy, that might be areas for improvement for the team.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the instructing stuff say, one thing to bear in mind when you're dealing with hostages is, of course, the capacity for some blue on blue stuff of like taking out civilians by accident. So in this instance, the hostages were all on the floor, so it was very unlikely, and we just hand waved that possibility. You'll notice that some of them have actually got flecks of paint on them, so they might have caught the occasional ricochet. There, in the real world, there was an instance up in Sydney where there was a lone hostage taker who took over a cafe, and when he started shooting hostages, the police special operations group went in and they took him out. However, shrapnel from one of their rounds struck a pregnant woman, and she later died of her injuries. So there's always the possibility of that sort of thing to happen. So this is one reason that sometimes you want to be careful about your selection of weapons. So, for example, the higher powered weapons, they'll go through the armor and they'll drop the bad guy. However, they're more likely to cause some nasty collateral damage too, because just as they're lethal towards the enemy, they're lethal towards anyone who happens to be in the way. And that's why historically police units tend to use handguns, because it's less likely to go through the wall and take out a little old lady living in the flat next door. So there's little considerations like that. But on the other hand, if they're wearing body armor, you want your round to go through. So sometimes there's no perfect right answer, but you have to figure it out for yourselves on the day based on what you know of the enemy and the situation. And it can be a case too, if you think they're about to start murdering all the hostages, well, they're not going to be any worse off, are they? Because they're definitely going to kill the hostages, whereas they just might get killed during your entry, but you want to minimize it. Whereas if it's a situation where they're not just outright killing hostages, then does that make sense? So there's going to be considerations like that.
That's why I asked if they had masks or not, because if they didn't have masks, odds are they weren't going to plan to keep hostages. So
a guy that was very insightful, a very intelligent question, as you said, because if they're not wearing masks, it means that they expect to go down in a blaze of glory or what they consider glory. Whereas if they're masked up, it's because they want to get away.
What's your assessment, sir?
My assessment is as much as you. It was good to take out that one guy, and then the others. Unfortunately, once things get noisy, Once you started shooting, then certainly the rest of the bandits were going to be alerted, and there wasn't much you could do. However, you did have a good overwatch position on their likely exit. They were only, given where they were only going to come out through that door through the coffee room or through the lobby archway kind of area. They were only going to come out through there. And you had two guys watching through the lobby archway area, and there's two guys who were dealing with that one enemy, that one tango. They would be able to see over his shoulder anyone coming through there. The only danger there would be if while you're tangling with that tango, that another couple came through there. But in that case, they would have the heavy cover of the heavy thick walls, and you would just have a bit of furniture. But there wasn't very much you could do about that because that's where he was. The only alternative you really had was to just shoot him from behind at a distance through the doorway, which works well if you hit, and you'd have plenty of time to aim and so on. But on the off chance that you don't strike him, then he takes cover behind all that furniture, and things get noisy early on. And that, you can always argue back and forth about what the perfect plan was. In truth, there rarely is a perfect plan. They're just advantages and disadvantages to each. Vaughn, is tactics part of this game? Yes.
Very much so. Very, very much so. This is not Doom, the RPG. We're not gonna roll up on bad guys and hold down the trigger till they drop. Uncle Brat, you back yet? I want me a brat. Doom, 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 for him to come back. Doom, 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 doom.
Did nobody check the bathroom and find the manager and Clark in there?
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to Jason. Did he just drop out?
He just met. He actually. I put it up in the chat briefly. His laptop died. He's trying to boot the damn thing. So, Jason, if you're watching this on mobile or whatever, we're in the assessment phase at this point. I gave our team a B. I just think the nut around the walls was pretty tough to crack. We did top-notch entry. Taking down Tango 1 went fairly without a hitch. You guys taking out the vault bad guy and the manager hostage, also solid stuff. It just, as the range instructor said, when things got loud, things got loud. So there was not a bunch more that we could do at that point other than just grind through and hope that our bullets found their mark, and they did.
Yeah. Vaughn asked, does declaring certain tactics give mechanical game advantage? That depends on the game master, but there are other things like, cover and stealth and all the rest. But yeah, overall it would depend on the game master. What I would say is that because you're only dealing with like a D6 for surprise or for initiative, and a 2d6 for your skill checks. Even just a plus or a -1 here or there can significantly affect the probabilities.
Well, I think timing is definitely a tactic in the game, and doing stuff like Uncle Brat taking an 8x on entering to get a 3 bonus. That's a beautiful tactic.
Yep.
Is that we had all the time in the world. The tangos were not screaming how they were gonna send out one unalived body every 5 minutes that they don't get a demand. So we had plenty of time to work over there, and Uncle Brat worked it. He used tactics. He took his time to get it to
by contrast, if you just like smashed in the window, made a big noise, and then climbed in one by one, you would have got through the window more quickly, the first guy, but he would have been on his own until the second one comes through, and the third one, and the fourth one, and that could only come through at most one per round. So that would be announcing your presence to all the bad guys, and then just dripping your forces in bit by bit. That would have been a terrible approach.
Yeah, you go in this window, you go in this window, you go in that. No.
Yeah.
So did I hit him?
And
I swear to God, my laptop hates my rolls. Every time I have a halfway decent roll when I'm playing, it'll shut down on me.
Okay. And then the other approach, would have been like go in the front door, guns blazing, and you could have gone in 2 by 2, side by side, but things would have got very noisy very quickly, and you just didn't have the gear for it. That's why the police have the bulletproof shields and stuff, and they go in but that only work when they're going in narrow apartments and stuff. There's a wonderful YouTube video. It's from some movie, and it's called like Rainbow Six style siege tactics or something like that. And they're just going in with their shields, one wide, because normal house corridors are that wide, so you can go through, and all the other guys can be bunched up behind him and protected by his shield. But you wouldn't be able to do that in a relatively open space like that. So going in through the front door also wouldn't have been that great, because you would have announced your presence quickly, and they would start plinging away at you, and it would have become a stand-up fight. I'm thinking along the lines of reality police versus heroic fantasy. Again, that depends on the game master, because it's also like how intelligent do the enemy play. Like in your classic first-person shooter game, the enemy are not very smart. They drip feed their troops in to attack you. They don't use very great AI, because if they did, your one guy against 12 of them would die. So they have to be a bit stupid. So if the game master chooses to play the enemy as all stupid, then it's Rambo. If the game master chooses to play the enemy moderately intelligent but sometimes stupid, it's police. And if the game master chooses to play the more super intelligent, then the players are probably toast. So
yeah,
it depends too on the players, on how smart the players are, and whether they want to apply that intelligence, because you can be relatively smart and then just decide that you don't give a shit when you're playing. So you just party on.
Right on. Well, I think
Jason, we were just role playing out the debrief that your characters had extracted the bandits and the hostages, the civilians, and exercise over, and the instructors are talking it over, saying, what do you think you did well, what do you think you did badly? So feel free to speak up.
I'm back, and I'm terribly sorry. That was particularly a disgusting
It's okay.
Time period.
Quite all right. We're wrapping up. You zeroed the last guy. You basically shot his arm off.
Okay.
So we got a pretty good grade. We had good tactics. Things just got messy when we, started dealing with a couple of shooters standing around a bunch of hostages. So we did the best we could.
How did the hostages survive?
They're fine.
They were
All
on
of
the
them
floor.
survived.
Yeah, they were all digging foxholes with their belly buttons. So we
They attacked the
And I
carpet.
didn't shoot any of them.
no, you didn't shoot any of them.
You
The
sound disappointed at that.
range instructor
Darn
did say
it.
that they did get splattered with some of the paint from our paint rounds. Would that have meant that some of them got hit with fragments, for bullet fragments? Maybe.
Maybe.
But in the overall,
There
Yeah,
wouldn't be
and-
too much bullet fragmentation.
Little blood splatter.
yeah. But anyway, so we did pretty good under the circumstances, and now let's head to the off base dive bar for the so the guys playing the tangos can buy us all the beers they owe us because we won.
Well, I owe one
and
guy a
now
beer.
we can say that we all want shotguns.
Yeah.
I owe one guy a beer. Like, sorry
Yeah.
about that vault flashbang. That was above
That was
and
just
beyond.
being
I'm sorry.
nice.
All right. So game session is over. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had an
Oh,
absolute blast. It's always fun to get to play instead of GMing constantly. But I want to thank everybody who played tonight. I think we can put the map away, right, Kyle?
Yeah.
Put the map away. Okay. But seriously, thank you, Uncle Brat, Jason, Safi, and of course Kyle for running this. I want everybody. You're the generous supers. Vaughn always helps, man. It's always great. Listen, don't ever say I'm sorry. I can only do this if you're supering. Guys, I don't care. It's what comes from here. Okay.
I think when Bill started the streams, he didn't even know that he could get paid for them.
Well, at that time, the way YouTube had the monetization set up, you couldn't you couldn't get money, you couldn't get supers, you couldn't get ad money until you had 1,000 subs. So it didn't start till last March that I could do this. But at any rate, Paint Minis Live. Oh my gosh, dude! First of all, you put $1 million paint job on my old Grenadier Red Dragon, and then you come in here with all these supers and Uncle Brat. Not to be outdone. Thank you very much for that, Uncle Brat. But absolutely, especially, I want to thank everybody here in the audience tonight who watched the game. I want to thank all of my participants who played tonight. Kyle, thank you so much for running the game. But I think that's where we're going to wrap it up. Now, Kyle, you're out for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. School
Okay.
holidays.
So we'll just kind of do some open stuff on Wednesdays, guys. We'll get into that dungeon mastering how-to stuff while Kyle's away, and then when Kyle comes back, it's on.
Al, I can give you the Police Academy reference because we talked earlier in the stream about a character having a 50 cal pistol. I think Tackleberry had
Tackleberry.
they're on the firing range, the first day on the firing range, and everyone else has got their police issue revolvers, and there's Tackleberry with his cannon basically. And the sergeant comes up and it's like, what the hell is that?
Where'd you
My
get
mom gave this to me.
Can I see it? I'll give it back. Okay. Anyway, so again, yeah, thank you all for being here, audience, players. It's lovely. I'll be back tomorrow night. We'll probably do a bit of a shorter stream, maybe 7:30 to like 8:50 or something like that, because at 9:00 I will be streaming with someone over on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, I'll put the deets up and you can come over on Twitter and watch us play. But until then, as always, guys, look, you might think Kyle's playing a fast game, game of modern combat that's very fast paced, but it doesn't matter because around here, you've got to keep your eyes peeled for that dreaded owlbear. Love you all. Have a great evening.
Night, peeps.
Have you seen my owl bear?
There.
Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.